Please, no more kissing.
All right, I think we're live, boys. I believe we are. Let me check our microphone is picking up everything. I think it is. Welcome. First cap, double cap. Oh, it looks like Patrick commented first, so therefore, Bavrat, you have lost. I'm sorry, my friend. Not today, but Patrick gets the $1 million prize. By that I mean a hearty thank you from myself. But yeah, we're just gonna post a couple more links in some discords here, but we're gonna get right into it as soon as anybody in this glorious tournament has a spectator slot open. I will join it. You can also send the replays to me via Discord. DMs are probably the easiest way, but you can also do it in some of the chats that are applicable. And yeah, let's get the show on the road. Let me see if I can go into anybody's lobby. And this is a Friday Night Fights hosted by your classic NC Umbrella, baby. This guy has been hosting the Friday Night Fights until the dawn of time, and he will do it until the end of time. All right, let's see if I can get rid of this screen blocker here. Doobly doop, bam. Okay, we're just in a little skirmish battle for no reason, but we will go ahead and get a little freaky dicky here and let's see. Do we have any more? Yes, we do. Boom. Okay. We can do, yep, a few more links here. I'm a shameless slut. I'm advertising myself all over the place, aren't I? Just a little. I like to post it all, click it all, link it all. I want to do it all. And then yeah, we're gonna go find. Man, that is not loading that well, but that's all right. You know, we make it work. We make it work. Let's see. Is Discord wanting to work? Seems that perhaps my internet is going a little wacky. It says excellent connection. Can everybody hear me? Well, can everybody hear me well? Okay, yeah. Seems like everything's going smoothly now. Yeah, okay, screw it, yeah. I think, wait, does she have? No, she doesn't have self-promotion. Dang it. Okay. I imagine this guy wouldn't have self-promotion either. Okay, we'll call it good here. So, let's look in the chat and try to find some battles we can join. Let's go to the multiplayer option here. Before we do that, actually, let's go to advanced. Nope. We need controls. We're gonna do cinematic smoothing to a little higher here, just because it looks good, and I'm on the not the debug cam, so we're going full cinematic here. I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing Groot, not a spectator slot. So let's hit up the good old MC chat and see if anybody. Somebody give me some spec action. Okay, I'm seeing a SEPA game, so I'm going into SEPA. That is just me going off the lobby. Skadoosh. Yep, SEPA, I see your game, and I'm joining. Let me get this over here. Boom. Alright, excellent. Woo! Yeah, hopefully your kid was able to hear the Orc Song Umbrella. I know he really enjoys it. Okay, let me get the blocker up real quick before I just screw over some people. Skadoosh. There you go. Yeah, today is the Crypt Horror butt. He's pretty thick. If you notice, they have like some tools on there. I'm always wondering what they're doing with these tools. Like, are they eating? Like, are they carving up the flesh of the things that they eat? Like, I don't know what's happening here. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Dark Elves versus Bretonnia. Maybe that's just the little screen we're sitting at right now, and they haven't actually picked their builds. But if so, I am quite intrigued to see this Dark Elf build go. Actually, I mean, this looks like a pretty decent Dark Elf build, to be honest with you. At first, I thought it was a meme, and to some degree, I still think there is meminess about it, but it could probably work. Could probably do a little something, something. But yeah, Dark Elves, Bretonnia, not my two favorite factions, I must admit to you. You know, Bretonnia, and both Dark Elves and Bretonnia. I think Dark Elves are really good. They're a very generalist faction. You can do just a shit ton of different matchups pretty well with them. And Bretonia's just really good right now. They excel at what they do so well that I think they just match up into a lot of different matchups pretty well. Just because of their overwhelming power in terms of cavalry, cheap archers, and cheap front line. They can just really just outvalue trade a lot of factions. And then the Dark Elves they have just a bunch of good quality units. And yeah, they're just like a lot of good, like decent ass units, just a combination of a lot of just good stuff. And that'll get you. That's like if you ever play like a Magic the Gathering game and you ever build a deck and it doesn't really have any particular theme or like crazy amounts of synergy. It just has a bunch of good cards in it, and they just call it the good stuff deck because it just has so many good cards that no matter what you're drawing into, usually it's going to be like okay because it's just chock filled with decent stuff that works by themselves. That's how I feel about the Dark Elves. I think they're just a bunch of good units just slapped on a roster, and then of course they have the good old murderous prowess, which always helps. They're mini Wah. Actually, it's significantly longer than a Wah, I think. I don't know. I have to double check. I do not recall the numbers of Murderous Mastery. Does anybody remember that? Anybody recall the numbers? Any avid Dark Elf players out here? He is going to destroy your elf dreams. I don't know. I think that's World Beater. I think he's saying that to somebody. I don't know who said that to. But I love that elf dreams are being destroyed. That's always a good time. Are we seeing a Slaanesh game? I don't know. That'd be a wild one. Slaanesh is a very, very. It's like 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes. God damn. Yeah, significantly longer than the Wah, as I thought. But it's only a one use, and you can't choose when you use it. It just kind of happens. So, understandable. But god damn, that is a decent, really good passive compared to like some other passives. Like, I like, some passives are like truly like really crucial to like the game plan of some factions, and then other passives are either like just non-existent to the point that they're just like not even really passive and just kind of gimmicks for some units, and you just don't even like really recognize that it's a passive. Like dwarves, I'm pretty sure they're like quote unquote passive, like as a faction. If you think about it, is like spell resist. And that's pretty decent. It's pretty good, but it's like, god damn, like trading that for like magic. Oh. So, but I mean, to be fair, dwarves are like have a bunch of heinous tricks up their sleeves, so they do not need magic. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just kind of funny where it's like some factions just get shafted in the balance of the passives here. Yeah, and I guess it depends if it's murderous prowess or mastery. I'm just talking about the. Oh yeah, I guess it does. It procs differently, huh? It's like when the ability procs, it like gives you extra bonuses or something. I'm trying to say the passive of Dark Elf. I forget what it's called. Like just the passive that gives them a buff, and I'm pretty sure is it just a global buff or does it like actually? I might need to look at the Dark Elf browser. I have not played those guys in so long. Yeah, but they trigger from the. Are there's just the passives on the units that like trigger by themselves, or there's the ones that trigger by the army ability? Okay, so it's still triggered by the army ability. Gotcha. Understood. Yeah, I really haven't played Dark Elves that in quite a while. So I mean, I know like generally what they did, but even when they first came out, I was not touching them. But it's just like preferences. I think elves are really cool looking. I think their lore is insane. I think their like armor and like aesthetics are awesome. I just don't like playing them. I don't know what it is, but like I just don't vibe with their general strategies most of the time. And like Dark Elves just kind of feel like Empire to me because they've always been very generalist and they've always been like, we're gonna kind of try to be decent at everything, so that we can just try to eke out an advantage in whatever part of the battle. which is kind of a cool strategy, but it's also not my cup of tea. I like either going like hard in the paint on one thing usually, or like a few things, couple things. It's usually, and they usually try to produce synergistic armies, but sometimes I just fucking do whatever as well, you know. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I originally thought. I just got like as soon as you said they were different, I forgot that they were different, and then for some reason I was like, oh wait, do they have do like secondary stuff that like procs like individually? And I was like, oh, my ancientness is showing, my old timiness is showing itself. Yeah, yeah, I think so I think what we're seeing Slanesh and the Greenskins is pretty wild. Um, Slanesh and the Greenskins is pretty wild indeed. Like, it's I mean, I honestly feel like it's Greenskin favored. I am also, I mean, I play both Greenskins and Slanesh, but I play Greenskins a lot more. Um, I think it's easier to mess up as Slanesh in this one. But I do think they have some pretty powerful tools because leadership bombing Greenskins is a viable route. I don't think it's as viable in Warhammer 3 because of the larger unit sizes and therefore like it takes longer for the leadership to really dip on some of these chaffs sometimes. But I still think that like leadership bombing Greenskins is a huge like avenue to defeating them. What's going on, Swiss? Swiss pikeman. Wait, what? What is your name? Is your name something else on Discord? For some reason, I'm not recognizing your name. But how are you doing, brother? How goes your day? Yep. So this is a pretty interesting matchup, though. I mean, I think the Slanesh has to really like be on their micro as per usual, right? But I do think that they can stack some pretty nice leadership debuffs onto the greenies if they catch them out of position. They do got to worry about some of the bigger SEMs because essentially, if you can't just like outbox them with like a soul grinders, you got to basically shoot them to death with javelins and then cycle charge with the other shit. So that can always be risky too. Like if you're going up against a really like hardy like greenskin build and you don't have enough javelins or like you get out of position with your soul grinders, you can get punished pretty heftily there. Um, I do like bringing like Inkari and like two soul grinders. I know that sounds hilarious, but like honestly, like they pack enough punch to like kill pretty much like a majority of like monster squads in the game. You just have to be really careful with them, and then obviously pray that they are not good with their missiles, or that you can compromise their missiles so Inkari doesn't get mastered ass blasted into the horizon. But it looks like the green one has readied up. Has his greenies all good to go. We're waiting on the Slaneshi Succulent Sipa. Yep. I'm very curious as to how this is going to work out. Slanesh does have a few tricksies up their sleeves that I might discuss once we're loading in or going into the battle here. But yeah, I think they have some pretty. Okay, there we go, and we are readied in. Oh yeah. All right, so I mean we'll talk about the army a little bit, but you can see that Slanesh went for the double exalted demonette. Very gross. These things once in combat will shred probably all the units that are on this greenskin army, except of course for the rogue idol here. Now, I'm hoping that neither player are stream sniping, but I mean, if they are, whoop-de-doo. I also didn't take this blocker off, so hey. And didn't really see the army, did you, bastards? No, but, I think this is going to be an interesting one. I do worry that Slanesh can just not kill that the rogue idol, the biggin rogue idol, and yeah, we'll see how that dichotomy works out. We'll see if Slanesh can clear enough of the greenskin, the rest of the army, in order to have enough left over to whittle down that rogue idol here. As we load in to Galbaraz? These nuts? I don't know, I already forgot the map name. ADHD took over. It took over, and it isn't giving it back. This is a pretty nice map, though. Very green skinny. Love it. Got the Badlands, kind of these steppes and plateaus. We got a bunch of little greenskin huts and stuff. Excellent, excellent stuff. We're doing a little loady load here. Waiting for the green one. Oh, I called him out. No, the screen already did it for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, green one. I'm sorry I did that to you. I had to do it. I have to do it to you, Anakin. I have the high ground here. You cannot possibly win. No. But, yeah, I'm excited to be back casting and doing stuff. Turn hosted a land battle recently. I'm sure everybody who's in chat saw that, which is pretty cool. The boys back at it again, which is pretty wild, considering this guy took like a whole last year off. That's not a bit. No, but it's pretty cool seeing that once again Turn is doing some land battle stuff, and he's going to do it every once in a while, and I think that's good for the community as a whole, and I think it'll be fun. Regardless of your feelings on that, let's get into the army. We'll start off with Slaanesh. They are setting up their forces, but really, whatever, screw you. We will start with a Herald of Slaanesh, who has Lotus of Grace, okay, some abilities. The Portal Brook, nice. And then Lash of Slaanesh and Acquiescence for the spells. Oh, and Pavane of Slaanesh, okay. So debuff there, a little breath, not breath, but kind of like a, yeah, it's like a breath, but it's a straight line, it's weird. And then a direct damage spell. We have the Soul Siphon and Blissful Rapture passives, and then Arcane Conduit, and we're good to go. Behind her, we have the Exalted Demonets, just the regular ones. They're pretty gross. They have the Soul Scent and really good stats. And the Sibilant Slaughtercade, which is regular Chaos Chariots, which have all the good Slaaneshi goods as well. ROR guys. I think they, yeah, I don't know what they have exactly special with them. Soul Hunters, okay. Hellstriders of Slaanesh on both flanks here. Then we have two Chaos Knights, lovely looking dudes, just badass and glorious and beautiful with their horns. Then we have the Bringers of Beguilement, which have the Perfect Vigor and the Rampage, euphoric, very good. Then we just have three Devoted Marauders with one being a spear, good to go. For the Greenskins, we have three Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, going to try to poke down some of the low armored Slaanesh units. We have four just regular Goblins, accompanied by their classic Squig Herd, which, of course, amplify their damage in combat significantly. They're rocking the back line. Then we have four Borbori Biggins, yes? Yep. No. We have four of those, and then two Savage Borbori Biggins. Three Savage Borbori Biggins in the mid here. So total of 5 here. 4, 6. Total of 6. Okay, I can count. So we're getting into charge with the Chaos Knights. Doing an okay amount of damage here, but really getting countercharged by those Savage Borbori Biggins and the Squig Herd and the Goblins. Rangers of Beguilement just dicing up a pig Wurzag who's greatly out of position here, and now surrounded by the Hellstriders. Is now euphoric, so it is Rampage. This could be an instant death Wurzag and just game right here. You see the flank surrounding. We got Chaos Knights coming in to try to compromise Force Spider Riders, but poor boys are probably going to intercept them. Does Wurzag survive? He actually survived. Well, he's still Rampage, so he can still take a good amount of damage from the Bringers, but they're now inundated by the Borbors and the big Rogue Idol. And we see the Herald of Slaanesh come in to maybe some attacks from the Rogue Idol. This guy's really the crux of the build. I don't know what Slaanesh is going to do to this guy unless they absolutely wipe the rest of the field, and it does not look like they're doing that. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh taking some significant chip damage from these Squig Herd and Goblins, which is tragic to see. We are seeing a healthy Wurzag still just because all the Bringers of Beguilement getting knocked down by cav infantry. we have Hellstriders and Knights fighting Borbor Biggins, and they're just trading. Okay, the Borbor Biggins trade so well in the cab because they're going for so large of AP and just their general cost. The front line of Sinesh looks like it's currently value is about dead even though, probably because of the super damaged Wurzag. The Herald of Sinesh got a little chip damage into this rogue item, but it's really not anything significant. Most of the mobility of Sinesh now is gone, and there's a decent amount of healthy Hort units on the field. We have one very healthy Biggin. That is a tongue twister for me today. We have Goblins slapping around. Some Chaos Knights is just hilarious that they were actually kind of losing to just a bunch of random infantry. You do got to pull those guys out and cycle charge, unfortunately, even with the badass stats of the Chaos Knights with like 50 from the getting surrounded is getting surrounded. Mirror attacks and bonuses versus real. So Exalted Demonettes coming in and absolutely kicking ass, but you do need the rest of your army to keep getting cycle charge, recharge, etc. And it's just not going to be a fun time for Sinesh, I don't feel. They're chasing off some War Boys, which is significant. They do still have the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but I just think it's more so that they need something to kill this big, even if they end up picking up the rest of this army, which is debatable. I don't think they're back. Sinesh, but Sinesh is one of the decidedly probably worst factions in the game as well as in the land battle due to just their flimsiness, general lack of cost-effective and they just really don't hit as hard as they should for how squishy they are. They're more like, the glass cannon should shoot a cannonball, but they kind of shoot like a pea shooter or a thumbtack or something. They just, some of their units don't hit as hard as you want. Wurzag is getting flung around though. That unit, that Airless Slash, who is just a real factor, will absolutely slap Wurzag. I do think if he was buffed, oh my god, his back just brings him to melee defense of 1. Yeah, he's going to get hunted probably to the death here, unless his Herald gets caught. Nope, she wiggles around those War Boys and is going to catch Wurzag and end him. So at least the leadership for the Greenskins are going to falter, and now we are going to see that late game scenario that I have been describing of a good old Rogue Idol versus everything and everything. Anything and everything, if I can pronounce that. We do have Forest Goblin Spider Riders that can still go here, so just a huge jump in power, both the balance power and the value as Wurzag died. So we are going to see if the rest of this army can take out this Rogue Idol, which with a healthy Herald, you might be able to cycle charge it again. Hopefully he doesn't get any lucky hits on it. But this might be feasible. But it's going to be pretty hard. We're going to see some Forest Goblin Spider Riders trolling around. They should be able to, with their ammo, get rid of the Hellstriders. That being said, their leadership is pretty shit. So if they do end up getting obliterated, not obliterated, caught, they might just grab into their leadership and working. So, Biggin smacking up some Chaos Knights. We are getting some of the Golden Marauders in there. You probably want to actually force the move Marauders around this guy. The reason being, does he do his little AoE damage? Let's see. Let's make it nope. Evade, nope. So he has to go by 50%, yeah, 50%, 25%, and then he just goes insane after 50%. Yep, there you go. So he'll be having his passive where we heal damage and attacks. And we're just gonna have to see if this Herald can really smack him up on these cycle charges. His hits aren't hitting the Herald, luckily, but he is gonna have to find one chaff. Eventually, these Golden Marauders might go down. We have ITP, which is very nice in these late game scenarios. So Nash is very good if you do have a decent late game setup, because a lot of your stuff will go around if you at least have your Lord alive. Some kind of HQ leadership bastion to fall back upon. But this Rogue Idol is throwing fisticuffs, and he's going to turn around and probably smack these guys. Oh, I was going to go after the Lord. Misses because his animations are awesome, but kind of janky for attacking his entity. You should probably just focus on the Marauders. The more chaff you clear, the more he's forced to use his important pieces to attack idol, and then you can just pray that your rogue idol just gets these hits. But man, he's getting baited actually super hard. Do you see this? He's attacking him, making it think have the rogue idol attacking him, and then the rogue idol is so slow at attacking that he there's a good area. Oh, he decided to attack this one. Oh god, that was damaging. Let's just take a look at this dude here. This is pretty much all that's left. I mean, there's force guns. My round is lurking around in the murk. They're just getting chased out. Yep, looks like it. So let's see if this guy can get jebaited to death here. But yeah, definitely this matchup can come down to something like this, and I was actually fairly surprised that the green scope but that was due to Warzag getting a little bit caught up in the sauce, lost in the sauce. This point, gone, who's faded. Oh, there's a big slap. And he just overextended a little bit in the early game with the Warzag, and then was so low that here from the riding so much nice. Oh, Charles slap his ankle. How are you gonna kill a living rock? I don't know, but Slanesh will find a way. Oh, there's a way. Let's check this HP here. Oh, this thing's almost dead, and that is definitely going to be game. Although some of these guys are routing, Cycle Charging Herald, I think, really pulled out. And that is a big old fat GG. I do want to see his last hand damage here. I think he just blows. Nope. Okay, we'll save the replay. GGGS. Oh, nope. Okay, I can't save the replay. I think I can do that in autosave, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the value here. GG to SEPA and Odium, the green one. SEPA came out on top, so we will check his first. So we see 1980 on the Herald of Slanesh. Very good value, definitely paid for itself. 1929 on Bringers of Beguilement. Very gross, living up to their expectations of the nasty infantry of elite Slanesh. We have the Chaos Knights, one of them paying... No, actually, neither of them paid for themselves, but they did their job and just charged and caught up a bunch of the boar boys until basically Warzag got sniped and then everything routed. We have the Exalted Demonettes not paying for themselves, but doing pretty good and, you know, cutting through some infantry. And then we have the Sibilant Slaughtercade, Hellstriders of Slanesh. Everything's doing alright, you know. Just what they need to do. 900 on this guy because they're stabbing the rogue idol. Nice. 800 on Warzag. Yeah, I got sniped out a little bit early. The rogue idol actually paid for itself, but was unfortunately unsupported in the late game and died to a bunch of cycle charging Slaneshi bastards. And then a bunch of the Cav actually didn't do that great, but, you know, they were trading decently upwards into these Chaos Knights the entire game, so there you go. And then, yeah, these Force Goblin Spider Rider Archers never found a home, really. They're going to chase the entire battle, and really didn't find their little spot to rain down fire upon those Demonettes. GG, lads. Thanks for the showcase. I'm going to now save that if it allows me. Yeah, it does. Okay. Round 1. Slanesh versus GS. F and F. Cool. Okay. We'll go like that. There you go. And then I think everything's round 1 or best of 1 here. Tequila Sunset. Hey dude, think we're supposed to send our replays to you? Here's mine for round 1. Thank you, Tequila Sunset. Yes, you can. You do not. It's not a hard requirement, but it is very nice because then we can either look back on these replays during a downtime, or you know, I might cast them later. I'm gonna try to really get on that. This year will be a new year for the Goge, and yeah, I'll be try to be a lot more on top of that. And if I see a good game, I will try to cast it at least probably twice a week. I think I'll do cast stuff, and then the rest will be streams because I think streams are easier and more fun and enjoyable for me. And for the live chat seems to enjoy it as well. So let's go see if we can find another round here. Anyone got a game? All right. All right. Let's see if we don't get anybody in a second here. We will look at that replay that Tequila Sunset sent us. And we'll go ahead and watch that. I'm not seeing anybody message me here, but we will go ahead and slap this on in. Douche. There you go. Okay, replay inserted. Now we have the means to activate the replay feature. 3.0. Alright. Let's see what this one was. Oh, it says it's recorded using an older version of the game. How did he do that? How did he actually do that? Didn't he just play this? What is happening? 1-5. What is today? I don't know how. Okay, well, really. Oh, I know. Maybe it's because I'm in game. No, but usually I can. I don't want this to be corrupted, but I don't want to restart the game either. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this, and if it's messed up, Tequila Sunset, you can totally call it. But let's watch the replay. It'll be High Elves versus the Chaos Dwarves. I actually do play a good amount of Chaos Dwarves here, so we have some insights here. But this is a typically pretty hard matchup for the Dwarfs. Now, I'm not seeing particularly some of the scarier stuff that High Elves can bring here. I'm more scared about like Archer Spam and Dragon Princes. Because Dragon Princes beat the dog shit out of Bull Centaurs, and they just really can't be stopped. Okay, let's get into slow motion here. So, for the High Elf player, we will start off with their Vanguard because they're shooting in. We have two Lyrian Reaver Archers shooting into these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Archmage of Death with Book of Hoeth, Fate of Una, Spirit Leech, and Life Legion and Arcane Conduit. We then have the good old Lion Chariots of Trace, good old Lions carrying Elves, a classic combo. We have a front line of 1, 2, 3 Spearmen and 2 Silvern Guard, the upgraded version that have just really good stats. And what else do they do? Oh, they have like an extra charge thing. They have extra charge defense and charge reflection. There you go. So it's against everything. So then we have 2 archers, just the light armor variant, Swordmasters of Hoeth, which are the good old great sword Elfie boys, which actually look incredibly badass. They're very cool, especially with their masks. Really dope. Then we just have 2 silver helms on each flank, and that about sums up the High Elf force. For the Chaos Dwarves, we have a good old Astrocock, Astro Slide Glide. This guy is pretty intense still. He has brought Cascading Fire Cloak, Hellhammer, and let's see, just Kindle Flame, which is still a pretty disgusting combo. Missing the Black Hammer, which is one of my favorite abilities to use at the moment. Then he has 2 Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, who are chillin', skirmishing with Reaver Archers, who trade in very well with this one. Is a Hobgoblin Sneaky Git, creeping up the sideline here. I usually end up using these guys defensively, but getting them in the offense would be kind of great if you can actually get them into the stuff. Then we have 3 Orc Laborers, 4 Chaos Dwarf Warriors, 2 Hobgoblin Archers, and then of course the Bull Centaur Renderers. And we'll have 2 of those guys for the anti-large support, and another Sneaky Git moving up. Oh, let's go. Okay, so we're seeing some early trades here. The Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders just trying to survive the onslaught of the Lyrian Reaver Archers, who have the same speed as them and have more range by 10 than them, so they really can't escape them. You just gotta hope and trade and probably move these guys back into the fire of the Hobgoblin Archers, so that these Lyrian Reaver Archers to fuck off. The Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits taking the long way home because they are far away from the engagement. Leaders charging in here. Let's see what damage. They do pretty good damage to these unprepared laborers and smack straight in the domes through their own infantry. Not very realistic, but pretty cool. Just charging through. The Bull Centaurs coming in, smacking into the Silver Helms, hopefully doing some good damage. But Bull Centaurs are kind of iffy. And they don't, yeah, they didn't really get anything through that charge. On this side, the Orc Laborers are breaking, the Chaos Warriors are chilling, but they are getting smacked up a little bit by these line chariots, who should probably be either moving through or, charging back out so they can cycle charge. Astrogoth Iron Hand trying to get into the archers, it seems, but instead smack the sword masters. They're going to do some good damage against them, but they're also going to get some chip against them with their armor-piercing anti-infantry attacks or something very nasty. Bull Centaurs they have okay armor, but they're just going to shrug off that light range fire from those archers, get into the goods, and then they're going to charge right through. I really think you want to stay here and just try to rout these archers one at a time, but they're going to have a hard time shooting into the archer group. Now that this flank has broken for the Chorfs, and all the mobility here is coming down to bear on these poor Hobgoblin archers, just getting smacked around. The Wolf Raiders say I'm out of here, but they're getting caught up by other Raiders. And Sneaky Gits are finally coming home to roost here, and they should be able to take care of these archers really well. Dump their load into the Silver Helms here, not really what you want to see, because those Renderers have it anyway. Hopefully that fuel will have gone to the archers. Lion Chariots dancing around here. Unfortunately, we can't see the value, but we can see the bounce power, and it is very heavily favoring the Hives at the moment. We just don't see enough punch left in this. Well, we see enough punch, we just don't see enough archers or just girth to this Chaos Dwarf army anymore, I don't think. If you land a really nasty Hellhammer with Astrogoth here, and maybe destroy the Sword Masters, could be a comeback moment. And as long as you keep the Bull Centaur Renderers healthy, get rid of the mobility, and then cycle charge, potentially you could see a dubs here. You are seeing a very healthy High-Elf Dragon though, and that can also help eliminate some of the infantry threats that the Chaos still pose here. Some of the Hobgoblins are coming back in the backfield, and they're going to be rallying to help desperately drag this fight back. The Hobgoblins are definitely going to rout, and then I think the issue is that this dragon and its mobility will pick up the rest. That unfortunately isolated Bull Centaur got just shredded, and they're an okay unit. You know, they can support other units against anti-large. I think you want like a screening unit so they don't take all the damage, because they're fairly like squishy in the front these days. They weren't squishy at all when they first came out because of bugs and stuff, and now they're like extra squishy. Astrogoth using Cascading Fireflow, got Spirit Leash a little bit, and honestly the mage doesn't even have to like engage Astrogoth, so you can probably Spirit Leash him to death now. And then there's a concede. GG. Oh shit, it's my game. Swordmasters with the Safri paint job looks so dope. Yeah, they look raw, my guy. They look fucking fire. Amazing. So Tequila Sunset with the Dubski here, he has 1500 value on the Lord. I can't imagine that paid for itself, but it's still pretty good. The Swordmasters of Hoeth definitely paid for themselves. Yeah, they paid for themselves. Good job. And then we have the Lion Chariots of Trace, the good old Silver Helms. They did pretty good. One of them did amazing, and two of the Silverin Guard just did their job of holding. I mean, front line of High Elves just need to hold. Archers did their job. Astrogoth Iron Hand, unfortunately a little underwhelming this game. We're just getting Spirit Leached, and because the rest of his army is crumbling, he couldn't really do much here. Probably tried to need to land some Hellhammers there. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see any significant ones. We see Hobgoblins not doing too great. Just a lot. I think it was just, a lot of engagements, unfortunately, that went poorly in the early game for said Chorfs, and the fact that those Sneaky Gits were kind of too far away from the fight to do anything meaningful by that mid game. GG's to both, to Tequila and his dudeness. Okay, let's go see if we can find another battle here. HE versus Kislev. We'll get this in here as well. Cool. Okay, so we have another replay in case I can't find anybody else. Anyone trying to spec? Okay. let's check our tournament here. I believe I can show you that with the work of web browser here. Let's see. Does not appear like I can for some reason. So, okay. Anyways, we'll just go take a look at the. I mean, I probably can. I'm just being a goober right now, and I'm being lazy, so I'm really not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. All right, so let's take a look at our bracket here. Let's see what round we're on. Okay, we're on round 2. So we can watch. Let's see if anyone is. So CPAS. The only one, yeah. There's. We need more specs up in this bitch here. We can spec SEPA, and I would not mind specing SEPA again. So we can just go ahead and do that. We'll do that for now, because I believe this is round 2. So do. Bam. Oh yeah. Let's get our blocker up. There we go. Alright, so we have the Phoenix King versus SEPA. Sorry if I just hit the mic there, did not mean to do that. But yeah, we're doing it live. And then we'll probably, if there's downtime, we'll go back and watch that round 1 replay that the boy writer Rohan sent us. It'll be a grand old time. And I believe this is the correct matchup. Yep. So these guys are going to be the top of the bracket. For the rest of the tourney, there's 3 other round 2 matches here. And that will be Butcherbird versus an MTK guy named Altharion Shades. Nice. Then we have Tequila Sunset versus ODM Sir Groot. And we have Seagaz versus NC Bavarat. And those are the other 3. And once Butcherbird and MTK Altharion Shades finish their match, and these guys finish their match, the winners of those 2 games will fight each other. Then the winners of the Tequila Sunset and Sir Groot and the Seagaz and NC Bavarat will fight in the semifinals as well. And that is how it goes. And then, I mean, let me see if I can actually show you the bracket, because for some reason my monitor screen thing. No. Let's see. Discord, Warhammer, Chrome. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. It is what it is. It for some reason is showing me the game still. I don't know why that is. So we'll just call it good, and you just have to trust me. Or you can take a look at the oh, you know what I should do actually? I'll just link the bracket here. There we go. Genius. Genius in a box. This is the bracket as my see as my OBS is didn't even copy the link really. That's odd. Okay. Oh, what is going on here? Let's see. Let's see if I can get the link from your boy over here. Okay. Yeah, it's the same link, so I don't know. Guess you just have to type it in like a loser, I guess. You losers just have to type it in. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so Phoenix King, a known elf player. He's going to show us probably the might of the Wood Elves. And I think Sipa himself is going Dark Elves as well, so we're seeing the second Sundering here. Except with the Wood Elf version this time. And we'll see what we can do. You know, regardless, Elves are going to die, so I will be happy. That's what I'm going to say. We're seeing Dark Elves, who I think are favored in this matchup. Although I do think Wood Elves have some tricks. I think they have some tricks. I don't think it's unwinnable by any means. But Dark Elves are just very generally like good at rushing down and containing. And I think Wood Elves, the only way they can really deal with that is go counter rush themselves. Or if we see some god tier like kiting play, where we see like, you know, just obliteration of the key units of the Dark Elves before they even can engage. I think that'll determine whether there's a pitch fight or not, and I think you can go there. You know, there's a lot of theories on this. There's a lot of different ways you can build armies in this game, especially with Wood Elves here. You can go full rush. You can go the Black Knight, who is a NC player, and he will basically take like a semi-rush, but then also a lot of Glade Guard, who are the basic archers for Wood Elves. And that seems to be pretty effective because you can just DPS down a lot of stuff. And they have really good range. And if you take the Starfire Shafts, they have armor piercing, which is disgusting. So, you can do some stuff with Wood Elves, for sure. You can do some stuff. It just depends on the user, depends on your knowledge, and depends on what your opponent does as well. And how you have to adjust your game plan accordingly. But if you can do it, I would love to see a Wood Elf victory here. Not gonna lie, I'm biased. I'm biased as hell. I want to see a Wood Elf dubski. Dark Elves have had their time to shine in the sun. It is time for the Wood Elves to come out of the canopy and see the light. Bask in glory and victory. Come on now, boys. Let's do it. Wood Elf Nation, rise up. But, yeah, that's my personal, bias there, and also my little opinions. And let's get to this show on the road. We're going to get rid of the screen blocker. The screen blocker is beautiful, Bavrat. Don't you ever talk shit about the bootylicious Crypt Horror. Okay? Okay, he's my friend, an esteemed colleague, and just a longtime business partner, okay? And, you know, just because you see his bare ass does not mean you should lose respect for him. Okay, moving on from the Crypt Horror. Didn't even go to the army, really, so we'll just have to do that right now when we load in. And this is another cool looking map if you take a look around. Got some farmland, although realistically, you know, like we see these little farmlands, right? In real life, like, yeah, sure, there's sometimes there's these farmlands that are like this small. I mean, this is more accurate here. Like you usually have massive amounts of farmland if you do have farmland. Because like one of these things, I mean, will yield a good amount of crops, but if you're actually trying to sell it for a living or whatever, right? Like I don't know what this is gonna do for you in general, or this, but I guess this is more like little for your own like living situation, get your own food and vegetables and crops and eating materials. Okay, we are going into the game. We'll start off with Dark Elves here. What is going on? Can you guys hear the music? Yep. Tell me what the music and audio is like, please, when you guys do get the chance. Anyways, we'll go right into the armies. Seeing a Lokir Fellheart here. Beautiful little dude. He has come with... nope, not that. Okay, well now he's gone. But I think he has some stuff here. He has his Dreaded Duelist, Kraken Helm, bada boom, bada bing, done. For the monsters, we have two Bloodrack Medusas with their new missile here, the Regiment of Renown, the good old Whale of Malice, and pretty good missile strength as well. We have a front line of Witch Elves with the unarmored Screeching Women who will rampage you and deal good damage. Two infantry alike. Then we have the Sisters of Slaughter, the basically upgraded version, but with no rampage, but very good stats. and the Trial of Blades, which is a cool little passive. We have 2 Cold One Knights with their anti-large armor piercing on the Raptors, and a Dark Rider, and some spears, and a Deathcaster with Spear Leech and Fade. And that's about it. For the Wood Elves in the Vanguard, we have Deep-Ridden Scouts. Oh my god, half-healthing these Witch Elves. Jesus. Oh my god, that was nasty. So they deal some good damage. We have Sisters of Twilight. Love it. I'm seeing 2 Legendary Lords, so the Goji is pleased. He's very happy. And we have Windmills. Oh, so we actually have her little passive as well. Nice. But we don't have the like heal, which is actually very surprising because the heal is super good. We have a Lifecaster with Earthblood and no passive, which is again interesting. You use a little passive. Sisters of the Thorn. God, I do not like these units, but if you can make them work, great. They have Curse Iron here and Shield of Thorns attached to them, but then I don't think their melee or jabs are that great. They do have 17 ammunition though, so maybe they can get used to something. We have 3 Eternal Guard with the armor piercing like spears, the staple of the Wood Elf front lines. Then we have the Regiment Renowned Wild Hunters of Kurnos, which have magic attacks, frenzy, and just good overall stats, maybe psychology, very good stuff. Glade Riders, which are just the basic skirmish cav, and then I think that about rounds up the build. Yeah, there's another Glade Rider right here. So, Witch Elves engaging. One of these Witch Elves will die because they're just so weak and sad. The other one will probably beat the absolute dog shit out of the Eternal Guard because they have physical resist and focus energy and yada yada. One Cold One Knight getting really sniped out here, but the Sisters of Slaughter and the Witch Elves are turning into either Glide Riders, unfortunately. Probably rampaged them, caught them unawares, and now they were stuck in and died. Blade Riders with spears, getting caught by the Dread Spears. Those guys haven't even knew they're way too fast to get caught. We have the Sisters coming in, smacking down with the Eternal Guard. Will be beating eventually. This entire front line will be beating the Wood Elf front line eventually. So it's about what you can do with the peripheries and what sniping you can get done with these archers, but they are getting caught up. Fortunately, it's just the Sisters and Lake here. It's not a Witch Elf yet that can beguile them and keep them in the scrap, potentially dooming them. And then some Sisters of Thorn charging in the Sisters of Slaughter. It's a sister off, and the Sisters are getting in the way of each other's man, and they are just scrapping. And now these Deep Scouts need to run away from Bloodrock Medusa, 2 of them actually, and the Witch Elves. If these Witch Elves get in there, it's definitely over for the Deep Scouts, and I would probably subsequently save the game as well. We're seeing a actually pretty hefty lead for the value for the Wood Elves, but it does not look like that in the game position just due to, okay, Deepwood Scouts make it out. These Witch Elves get into one of them, or will they route before because they're taking, yep, and they're going to get charged and route off, so those Deepwood Scouts are safe. There's quite a blob. Ooh, and the Sisters are they're on the page, so these Blood Racks and other stuff can start jumping them. They don't have their heal, so they won't be getting a big boost of HP near the end of their life cycle here. But we do have a Lifecaster somewhere around, hopefully. Lifecaster on the E. Are you with me? Yeah, you're in here as well. Okay. So the Lifecaster really stuck out as well. So this is not a great situation for either of these guys. They really need to waddle out and use a little bold tactics and flying away. Otherwise, this will be just a GG, the Warp Snipe. And it's looking like that. She's terrified because she's not under a dragon. I really do like bringing the Sister on her dragon. Oh, and she's dead. That heal would have been pretty nice in my opinion, but I understand wanting to save the cost, but still, I think if you're going to bring her and use her abilities to her advantage here, I would say. Deepwood Scouts getting clapped by the Dark Riders, but I think it's going to be hard for Wood Elves, even if they manage to scrap back some positioning advantage to beat this force. And the value shot up for the Dark Elves as expected when you snipe their Lord, and I believe their caster is dead as well. No, it lives. The boy lives. The girl lives. She flies back to the fight, but oh god, she's gonna get sniped like a... oh god. I didn't realize we were playing Duck Hunt right now. This is horrible. Oh no. She's, oh god, and she's done, and I believe this is a GG here. I just don't think there's any way for them to scrap back. I really don't like the Sisters of Thorn. I know the Phoenix King is an elf expert, and he has probably many more hours on elves than I do. I still don't really like this choice here. GG to both players here. Let's go. Yeah, round 2. That's from north. Okay, couldn't get the dark elf in because it just stops. Okay, and then it just exits me out of the thing. Nice. Don't even get to look at the value. But we are gonna go. I think we can go look at the value here, because I'll just go load up a replay unless we have a. It's good audio. Okay, good. From my end, it just sounds like. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, it looks like the music's like keeping up with my voice at a nice pace. It looks like it's about half my decibel levels here, so there we go. Okay, let's go take a look at that replay unless we have another semi. Okay. So okay, 12:52, so, or 42. Let's see if we can catch the tequila game. But I doubt it, to be honest. I think we're going to miss it. So we'll go take a look at the value of this last replay we got. Wood Elf versus Dark Elf. Round 2. F and F. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So let's go take a look-see here. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, it's so funny that this one. Yeah, this one says it's out of date. That's so wacky. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, let's take a look at the value. We'll just speed through it here. But yeah, I just don't know what, like, I think this might be a meme. I don't know if he was memeing or not, but I feel like the Sisters of the Thorn is just not the move, brother. Not the move. And I mean, this army's pretty good. It's always like, just as a like Warhammer 2 player, it's always weird seeing like witch elves into these like traditionally shooty factions, just because it's like, oh gee, like they just get melted, and they do just get melted like at first, right? That is disgusting. And these guys, I don't know if they kept firing, but they, yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. They just like melt some of these witch elves. Pretty gross. Anyways. Let's see, but yeah, God, look at these wood elves get melted. Oh, but they just get chased, and he probably need to get intercepted here by like Cav or something, or I don't know. Look, here was just getting like, I guess, ignored, which is fine, but it's just constant damage, and it's like keeping them from doing stuff. I guess you can put them on guard mode and keep them from engaging in melee. So, Loki got 500. He was just pressuring the archers, though, so he's kind of okay. We got the Siren of the Red Ruin getting disgusting damage. We got the Sorcerers of Death probably spirit leeching the crap out of these two guys and doing good stuff, or possibly Fate Imbuing maybe one of the Cav, getting some good value there. Another good value on the Medusa here, and then decent on the Gold One Knight. Not so great on this one. That's probably the one on the right that got wrecked. 800. 300, a little underwhelming on the Sisters, but you know they still did their job and cleaved through a good amount of that front line. One of the Witch Elves did great. The other two got pretty heinously shot down, and then the Dread Spears and the Dark Riders just helped pressure the flanks to the point that it was hard for the Wood Elves to really keep all their two archers alive, pretty much. So, GG there. 1,000 on the Phoenix King. 800,000. Okay, better than I thought for Sisters right there. There you go. If they're doing something, there's some secret tech I don't know. I need to find out in the annals of the elf histories. And the Deep Woods did pretty good. Let's see what says come back. Okay. So, we do have a what are you looking at, but that doesn't seem like it's part of the tournament. Or maybe it is. Actually, it might be. I think that was one of the guys I played in the Turin tournament. Had that name. Probably World Beater or Seagulls? One of them? Okay, let me put the walker up. Gadoosh. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, Grand Cathay versus Warriors of Chaos. And Grand Cathay is a very gross faction right now. I think they just excel at a lot of different aspects of the game in land battle, and I think they do need to be tuned down in some areas or another because they just are absurd. I think if you guys saw Human Boy's video where he like shows all the cannons firing basically, at the same targets and stuff, like Grand Cathay cannons were just nasty. They were just nasty, and they just dealt so much more damage. Now, to be fair, I think some of them were like shooting regenerating targets, and the Grand Cathay cannons, I believe, do fire damage. Let's see, yeah, they do fire damage, so they should do extra damage, like 20% more damage. But still, the tracking is insane. Like everything is insane. Like there's really good cannons, and they're really cheap too. Like they're just gross. They are just gross. Take a sip of water. I'm sipping on my Wawa. Let me sip for a little bit, okay? Alright. So yeah, for Grand Cathay and Warriors of Chaos, I do think Grand Cathay is favored, obviously. I mean, I think Warriors have some good stuff to... Maybe some good stuff to offer here. It's just dependent on how he builds it and how he goes about playing it, because the Cathay box is quite the terrifying thing to penetrate here. You need a lot of chaff to like go against some of their stuff, and then you need some really hard hitters to crush some of their like peasantry backlines and sides and stuff, and flanks, because you really need to get to their missiles as fast as possible, but also recognize that you can't just suicide all of your stuff as well. So it's a pretty brutal predicament that they put you in. Skadoosh, get the blocker out of get that blocker out of here. And yeah, it looks like very corny build. Blood for the blood gods, call for the god. And we're gonna be seeing a full rush as expected. Chaos is good at one of two things: rushing and rushing with some hell cannons and javelins. that's about as much variety as you can get with the warriors. They traditionally are a very melee-centric faction that just wants to beat your face in. And they have some pretty cool heroes and lords, and they got a lot of different options to choose from in order to do that. So we're going to see a Stray Valkia here. She's actually a pretty common pick. She's a cheap, effective, has that shield ability that basically allows her to become invincible. She's very good at dueling anti-large stuff. She's infantry size, so she doesn't get super dunked on by anti-large counter stuff. And yeah, I think she's a very good choice overall. I do like, she still doesn't have the efficiency of being a caster lord. So I think caster lords in general, half memeing every game is still good. Exactly. That's the way. That is the way, bro. You must meme. You must extreme meme in the name of the meme gods. Or the meme chosen. Look at this nice little haystack here. Yeah, we'll see what's up. We are gonna see if the great bastion of Cathay can be finally conquered by chaos. In multiplayer, that whole story element is not very accurate. It's like Zinch runs over and Kairos messes up. Well, actually, Kairos is kind of a menace in multiplayer right now. And like honestly, every time Kairos is on like the trailers, dude, he just destroys face, bro. Like the guy like pink fires like a terracotta sentinel to death. Like he's just like, and the fucking terracotta sentinel just dies, and fucking Kairos over there just like cackling, like. I'm just like, oh my god, why is this? Why the trailer Kairos is OP as hell? All right, so let's take a look at the Grand Kathy over here. Grand old Aunt Kathy. That actually, I do have an aunt named Kathy, and she is not on Battlefield today. It's Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon, my uncle. Now, final transmutation for his spell, Dragon's Breath, and then he has Warding Iron, which is a nice little thing. I think that might come automatically, not sure. And the Burning Man Braces for his juicy heal, even though it did get slightly nerfed because it was healing him double on accident. That's still pretty damn good heal. For the front line, we have, of course, Jade Warriors, but of course, and they're very sturdy, very good frontline infantry. Then we have a bunch of Peasant Spearmen. Well, not so many, only 4, and like the 2 backline artillery here are not actually being covered, but he probably will put some Jade Lancers. We have 3 Jade Lancers, or 2 Jade Lancers, 1 Peasant Horseman. Jade Lancers are actually very good counter-charging cav. They're just decent enough that if you get a good engagement, they will win a lot of the fights next to their price range, and also they just like are good at keeping stuff up. Then a Grand Cannon, Fire Rain Rocket Battery for anti-infantry, and then anti-large on the cannon. And we have Righteous Lances of Rage In, which they actually will beat the crap out of most of the flyers that warriors can offer, but Valkyria can also get out of jail free card with her shield, and you know, she's a tricksy hobbit. She's also not large, so she doesn't. Oh, well, I guess they don't have large. They just have straight damage, so she can still get the hands. So for the infantry, we have 1 Chaos Warrior, with the Corn dual weapons, very cool little dudes. Then we have Chaos Warrior's great weapons, dual weapons, and then just a regular Chaos Warrior. So that's a very diverse front line. I like it. A Metal Sorcerer as well, so it's a metal off between the Dragon of Metal and the mutated old fuck of Metal, and he just has a Searing Doom, and he has his Golden Mountains. And we have a Chaos Chariot, hoping to pierce that line, but they gotta be very careful because these Peasant Horsemen and Jade Lancers will fuck them up if they get a counter charge. Your Chaos Knights with Lances, which are pretty good. There's 3 Chaos Knights with Lances. Super Chad build. This build is Chad as hell. We'll go back to the heinous damage being done in a second here, but yeah, pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. I don't know why they're kind of buzzing like that. Anyways, we have actually 2 chariots here. Actually, some of the cannons aren't hissing because they're hiding amongst the shrubbery here, which just appears out of nowhere. And it shoots back down. Okay. They're taking a good amount of damage still. Ooh, that was a gross Spear of Slopnir on these poor Iron Hill Gunners. What did they do to you, Valkyria? Why are you doing that? Chariot's getting pretty messed up. They're getting focused. They're probably just going to die. I would have hit them all the way behind here and then would have just waited. And these probably would have died. I mean, something's got to be your sacrificial lamb here, right? That's why you kind of want some chaff. Or at least something that is kind of bait for them to shoot. These Chaos Chariots hopefully will push through, but they just got charged up again. Same over here. Chariots are just going to get schmeckled by a good old Jade Lancers. And Dragon actually is catching up as well, preventing one of these models from escaping. Valkyrie's getting surrounded by the Raging Lancers and then get effed. Oh, she's going to get effed up. She might deal some decent damage back, but getting surrounded by a bunch of armor piercing, hefty damage like that is terrifying. They also had Guardian, so they're giving Zhao a little bonus to physical resist. What is it? Just physical resist to 50%. It's pretty nice in this niche situation there. A little bonus. Chaos Knights getting through, charging into some of the Peasant Spearmen, but because they were not really aimed at Peasant Spearmen, they wasn't doing that charge. Probably should have just charged them and let the Peasant Horsemen just take damage as well, because Peasant Horsemen aren't like Jade Lancers, they will just get right. So front line of Cathay is actually getting ground down, and we are seeing some of the Outdoors get into the cookie jar, but is enough damage dealt to the Chaos Forces for both of the Grand Cannon and the Fire Rain Rocket are feeling compromised. And with these three healthy-ass Chaos Lances, oh, well, okay, that's terrifying, away. The Chaos Sorcerer now does need to get away from the but a charge from these Chaos Knights should help out with life. Another swap here, but I don't agree with this one. Peasant Long Spearman, I understand why you would do it, but I really think, well, let's see. I really could do it here. Well, actually, he doesn't really have any warriors left. So that would be the way. Or you might want to save it for some crossbowmen, but I don't know if they're even escaping at this point. The value is up for Grand Cathay, but honestly, the field position is definitely Chaos favored here. I did not expect them to break through the line that quickly. And I was thinking there might be some more resistance, some more damage being dealt to this engine, or maybe a final transmutation. That would have been nice. What is this? That was a searing dude. Right on the Peasant Long dude and the Grand Artillery. And the game's a bit louder than usual. Oh, interesting. It doesn't even sound like that to me. Everything like that's up. My head microphone. Valkyria crawling back up the hill, taking off, and it really looks like the day might be Chaos's. It just depends if, ooh, yeah, maybe. So, like, maybe saving the Spear Soldier for these guys, because these guys actually did manage to get away. And since they are kind of at a distance, they can just shred and warriors, so they choose. We do have a healthy, no, not a healthy, but an okay righteous Lances left. And they can prolong the warriors. We're charging the rear. We get gunpowder to their backs while they're being charged. Might actually send some chills down the spines of these Chaos Warriors. But a super healthy Chaos Knights and Lances are coming. And I guess these guys are just going to try to charge? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, they're running away. They feign the charge. The Chaos Knights and Lances are going to keep moving. Iron Hail Gunners repositioning. Jade Warrior Crosswind shooting into the Chaos Warriors, fighting with some of the Long Spearmen. I expected the Jade Lances to actually charge here. Jade Warriors coming back. Spearmen still here. Nothing really to protect aside from these guys, so you gotta prioritize these guys. The Iron Dragon fighting amongst the Knights, which is probably his highest priority at this point. Because you can kite out and quality cycle charge Chaos Warriors to death. But these lanced Chaos Knights do not give a single thing, and they will run down this area. Infantry is dealt, which Iron Hails are done, deleted, under the face of the earth, and the Peasant Long Spearmen taking some significant damage on that secondary charge. Crossbows, I don't know if the crossbows can really deal enough damage to these Chaos Knights. These J-Lancers do need to get some rear charges somewhere. Because basically, the infantry can shoot down, or the range can shoot down the rest of the infantry. And that's all the Grand Cannon. Okay, Sorcerer gets sniped. Very nice pick by Zhao Ming and Cathay here. Now it's going to be, a bunch of Chaos dudes versus Zhao Ming plus Longbow who can cycle charge as a large. I think it is going to be nasty. I mean, yeah, if you can hear me fine, if the game's a little too loud, I can turn the game volume down as well. I do fluctuate in volume quite a bit. I'm quite animated. Usually I talk in various cadences and shit, but yeah, hopefully all is well on the audio front. If not, let me know. I can turn down a little bit. Zhao Ming trying to scrap back whatever he can, trying to rout off his Chaos Warriors. I think it's more so just a case of these Chaos Knights though. Ooh, are these Jaded Riders? Yeah, they are, but they get a horrible charge on these guys. They get a horrible charge. They're going to need to pull out of there immediately. Pull out! Pull out! Pull out! That's what she said. Alright, so Chaos Knight smashing in. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of damage to everything. Because as I said, you don't have enough numbers to really inundate that charge. It's gonna be straight damage. Maximum damage. That's a lot of damage. The dragon form comes out from down there again to get some armor piercing. And I would have figured you'd probably just want to stay there just to try and kill these Chaos Knights. Stay away from Valkia. Maybe even take these lances and just run into Chaos Knights, because these are the things that are going to decide the game for sure. They definitely need to get eliminated in order for Grand Cathay to win. But honestly, the rest of these guys are getting routed by the J Lances as well. We're seeing an 800 point deficit for Sipa and Grand Cathay. And Zhao Ming, now that Valkia is pretty low in health, is willing to take that fight. Let's see if his Van Braces have been procced. They have not, so he still has a fat amount of healing left. I do not think that, unless these guys get a surround of Zhao Ming, these Jade Lancers get wrecked, and then Valkia can just poke Zhao Ming down. I think the Warriors actually might have been edged out here by Grand Cathay. I think they might take this. It all depends on who can clean up the ground forces better, and then who can have the dual fates. Okay, I guess can use her shield here. And just hope she gets a good RNG and just use her 55 melee defense to good use. Zhao Ming only does have 50 melee attacks, so it is, you know, it's not the most likely that he'll hit every time. The screaming is about as loud as you hearing doom and exploding cannons. I need to focus on the voices. Okay, I'll turn the game audio down a little bit. After this game, I did not realize it was that blaringly loud. But yeah, we'll get that squared away. Zhao Ming and Valkia smacking into each other on the ground. Looks like Zhao Ming is doing not even, it has an explosion radius thing, but I don't think it does damage. It's funny, I didn't see that one explosion. Oh, that fourth Jade Lance. That was just the last Jade Lance. And it came into Valkia and she bitch slapped it out of existence. That is sad. Even for a foot character, Valkia should have a significant edge on Zhao Ming. He has no AP. He has a good amount of health left compared to her. That's a good thing. If he gets good RNG, she can potentially just run out of health here. So now it's coming down to the dual fates. Valkia, Zhao Ming, Jade Lancers, Chaos Knights, and then some peasants. This is the final count. Ooh, and the Chaos Knights are prevailing here. I do think you still want to keep Zhao Ming in dragon form. I know it's risky for Valkia, but you need to kill these Chaos Knights. You need to kill them. And I don't know if you can anymore. Maybe you can air route them if you transform back now. And I don't know on what amount of cooldown this is on. Cooldown's 100%. Probably not going to be able to transform into a dragon. I think Valkia is going to probably take this, and the Chaos Knights will cycle charge and surround and beat the dog shit out of Zhao Ming. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. That is my prediction. But it is a heated fight. Very good game. Regardless of who ended up winning this. This was an incredible match, and I really think Grand Cathay was in advantage here, I believe. But, you know, maybe enough Warriors and Chaos players prove me wrong, and maybe the matchup perspective changes, you know? But let's see. Oh, there's just one lone Chaos Knight smacking him. He's using his alchemy powers and his dragon superpowers. Oh, he's gonna use the transformation. Okay. Dragon comes out. And now he has armor piercing terror, and now we will see the two fight to the death. The issue is that he has his healing still, and she does not have anything. So you're really gonna need to surround him with these Gauss Knights. No, you don't. Oh, I guess you can follow up. Yeah, you can use the shield to your advantage now. But now that you dove into the Knights, yeah. And this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. Okay, her shield breaks. She has to go in, fight, get surrounded. Can Zhao last? Will he break, or will he terrify the Knights and kill Valkyrie? It is up to the Zhao Ming. I played Zhao Ming against Rella the other day against his Tomb Kings. I had a similar situation where he just outlasted people, and he didn't hit a ton consistently, but he lasted long enough that he started doing damage and taking out some of these heavier hitters. And yeah, it looks like Valkyrie's gonna die. Yep, and that is GG. Wow. Good day versus Warhammer 3. This is round 3, right? Let's see. It is Sipa versus... Yeah, looks like Butcherbird. And Sipa took the Dubski just by the skin of his Zhao Ming teeth. Yeah, that heal was brutal. That heal was absolutely brutal. We're going to go adjust the audio here. Oh, I forgot to look at the value. Okay, we'll maybe look at the value if we have time. I totally forgot, but I just want to get that audio down. So let's get the effects a little down here. And the music a little down. And the speech a little down. And let me take the master a little down. Okay. Yeah. Changes. Boom. All right. Hopefully that is better. Hopefully that's more like not blaring. And let's go back into the multiplayer battles. Yeah, GG. Let's go take a look at that replay real quick so I can. So I can see the value. I think this was a really close one, though, and a lot closer than what I thought. I really thought these warriors were just going to get shredded on the approach, and they took some serious damage on the approach, but he was focusing on the chariots, which is nice, but the chariots just also got blunted on these Jade Lancers. Jade Lancers are so gross. I think they're really, really strong for just preventing you from getting mass into the Cathay line. That's why I feel like Cathay, if you have flying harass, it can be a lot better, but again, they have the Crowmen, so, you know, Crowmen can do whatever, and they are really heinous, and they just will stop you from doing stuff, and that's why I think Crowmen need to be decently nerfed, just not only because they just outperform for their price, but for the faction they're on, they just are absurd in terms of, like, being able to have stopping power and just absolute control of your battle line if you use it properly. Yeah, and I think the Spear of Sleipnir should have been, like, held a little bit for late game. Because if some of those archers and, like, gunline were used to slightly... This is the second spear right here. And it just slightly halves, like, as a normal spear. I understand getting your value right, but I think you probably want to use it on this or this at some point. Yeah, infantry like dwarves, but with mobile support. That's excellently said. That's my opinion, for sure. Oh, yeah. So yeah, this is a pretty close match. This is a pretty cool match as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Valkia and the Knights almost took the day here. I just think there was very minimal mistakes, but there was mistakes that cost the game. I think the spear was like the really crucial one, surprisingly. So let's take a look. We have Zhao Ming with 2,800. Very good value. Good job, Zhao. You did it. Your healing saved the day, you son of a bitch. You healing son of a bitch. Then we have Righteous Lances with 1,700. Very good. 600 on the... Yeah, the artillery is actually very underwhelming. Surprisingly in this game, right? Usually you don't say that about Grand Cathay, but yeah, they really didn't get that much value, and they still got compromised, and then Grand Cathay still won. So it's like gross. But J Lancers, 700, 400, but they did their job, and they're really good at doing their job, which is given the good old 1-2, no, but the good old mass block to keep people from going in. The rest of these guys had did their job. Yeah, they didn't really get astounding value, but they did what they needed to do. Valkyria 2000, very gross. 900 on the Sorcerer. 1200 on Chaos Warriors with dual weapons on the Corn, so very corny, very awesome. And 1000 or 1100, nice. 700, nothing. 400, 2000, excellent. And 500. One of these knights just went off, triple shoved and everything. Gross. Okay, who is left? Tequila Sunset. Round 2. Okay. Yeah, we'll download that. Sure. Yes. Okay. Let's look at the multiplayer battles. Let's look at the bracket here. So we have Sipa done, Tequila Sunset, and I think it's Seagaz. Or hopefully next on the menu. Let's see if we can get them in, boys. Get them in. I'm seeing Sipa's game, some random game. What are you looking at? I think we can spectate that. Let's see. Let's get our screen blocker up. Oh, I did it in time. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautimous. Okay, great. And they're playing their game, so we can catch the semifinals. And I may or may not go back to cast some of these replays. I'm sorry if you submitted me some that are just on rounds that, got skipped. Because there is actually quite a few people signed up. Excellent. This was a huge Friday Night Fights, and I love and thank everybody for who showed up. This is awesome. And we're going to have a cool little semifinals here and then on to the finals. And if there's a good amount of time in between the two, then we might get to slip in a couple more replays. But if not, I think when the finals are done, I'm probably going to be calling it, mostly because I'm hungry as shit and I want some food. And I either am probably eating some Costco pizza or some mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was homemade. I made it. Very good. Taleggio cheese and mozzarella. Parmesan. Perfecto. But yeah. And yeah, I've been sipping on this water bottle, so I'm not going to elaborate too much because I don't know the complete guidelines of YouTube here. But I was at a buddy's house, and I go to hang out with this friend every once in a while. And in his garage is just a massive hot box. So if you understand what that is, you understand what that is. And if you don't, well, you don't. You can look it up or, whatever. But I came back and my, water bottle, which I had in the garage, just tastes just so badly like weed. So bad. So whenever I sip it, I'm just like, oh, it's just a shot of weed. I need to drink, I need to deep soak this water bottle or something, I'm just like, oh. Tequila says pray for me, chat. Send prayers up for the Tequila Sunset, boys. Seagaz is a menace. I faced him in the Turin tournament, and I thought it was an okay game, but yeah, he absolutely smacked me with the Kairos, whatever, Kairos Mutalith thing, because in that particular tournament, it wasn't banned, so. Oh. Got some messages from my grandparents. I'll have to message them later. Later, alligator. But yeah, so let's see here. I think we're seeing Grand Cathay versus Lisbon. If that is, that'd be pretty wild. Oh, Grand Cathay versus Skaven. Now, this is one I'm not crazy familiar with. This one I don't particularly watch all the time. But this is a very fun one because you have two very dynamic factions that both have extreme ranged support here. So we're going to see what the tactics and strategies of both these players are, because I am very keen to see the metas here. I do play a bit of Skaven and a bit of Grand Cathay. I think I play a bit more Skaven than I do Cathay, but both are kind of on the like peripheries of my used factions, and both have like very interesting tool boxes for this. And this is gonna we're gonna see what they do here. We're gonna see if this is gonna be an ultimate ranged battle or some other fuckery is gonna happen. And we're just gonna see like just absolute like obliteration at a range, or if this is gonna be more of a close quarters battle. Alright, both lands readied up. And now that the cat is out of the proverbial bag, I'm gonna undo the screen blocker. Like, look at this matchup, boys. It is a full Cathay rush versus a full Skaven rush. Again, hope the players are not in the chat, or at least if they are, have it muted and minimized, because stream sniping is scummy. But yeah, this is going to be a hilarious match, boys. I think this is going to be very entertaining. Two traditional, very campy factions that excel at sitting in their boxes and using ranged pressure tools to get their opponents to come to them and deal significant damage from afar, are mounting up with sword and shield and just charging headlong at each other, just like the good old barbarians of the old days. I don't know what old days I'm talking about. Rome? You know, they say it's the average man thinks about Rome every day or something. Some shit like that. So this is my thought. This is it. This is the one. So let's take a look at the army here for Grand Cathay. Let's start with Grand Cathay. Cool color scheme here. We have the Zhao Ming, of course. We have transformation of the... Well, he already has that. Okay, and exact same ones. We have Final Trans, Dragon's Breath, and... Oh, he did not bring the Vam Braces. I think that is a huge mistake. That's huge. His healing is not going to keep him in the late game fight anymore. He does have cool 2 Jet Lions, which are the mirror missile spam. So they're spell negation basically, which is very cool. And if you put it on like you know, next to Zhao Ming all the time, he'll take less damage from like a Flanging Ruin or whatever, what have you. So we have 5 Jade Warriors. We have a Jade Lancer. We have Jade Warrior Crossbow, and then let's see, we have 2 of the gross, disgusting Onyx Crowmen. One of them is the regular ones, which are already gross by themselves, but then we have the Emperor's Crowmen with significantly heightened stats, and a disgusting volley of Nangao grenades, which are just very good at obliterating infantry and a bunched up cavalry alike. Then we have 2, Peasant Horsemen and the Wage In. I think I already went over those. So, for the Skaven of the HQ, we have an Ikit Claw with Brass Orb, Warp Lightning, Howling Warfield, no Flensing Ruin, wow. Then we have a Glorious Gorich. Oh my god, look at this Chad. What a guy. Beautiful. Anyways, we then have a Packmaster who has the Shock Collar, just the Shock Collar. So not the passive heal. I think you would want... No, he does have the passive heal running with the back. Oh yeah, so he has both activated. Ooh, we're seeing a little skirmish in the beginning here with some of the Peasant Horsemen running into this Hero Blob. They do not want to do that. Some of the Empress Crowmen running in. Hopefully they don't just drop bombs on these guys. These guys are pretty insignificant, and they're taking some good damage from these little shitty Skaven slave slingers as the blob of Jade Warriors approaches. We have the whole section of the Skaven army slow on the uptake here. Skaven slaves with their Rat Ogres and more Slingers in the back. Then we have Eshin Triads. Do we have Eshin Triads over here? We do not. The Triads are only on the left flank here. And so we're being a little isolated here, and some of the Rat Ogres get caught out and just smacked up by these righteous lances. The righteous lances! And Peasant Horsemen cleaning up those guys. Packmaster and Ikit trying to come back Looks like Horus is chilling in the woods, waiting for his time to strike. And then we have two Death Runners in the backfield here, still fully hidden, and should be able to get a juicy rear charge, perhaps on the Crossbowmen or some of the Jade Warriors, and it will be glorious. Skaven Slaves getting charged by the Jade Lances, and countercharged by the Rat Ogres. This is going 50-50 here. We don't like the Jet line for the Skaven because it will send a terror out through these lads. Does he have terror? No, he just has fear, so he can't terror out. Then we have the Rat Ogres doing okay, but the Jade Warriors are just so sturdy. Okay, these Crossbowmen are getting absolutely obliterated by the Death Runners, and I would hope that the Death Runners either come here or here and just get some backstabbing goodness. Gorich just coming in. He's doing some very significant damage to the Jade Warriors, actually. We'll probably chunk them down if he wants, but also take some damage in return, so he's getting out of there. This right, left, right, whatever flank of the Skaven are slightly crumbling due to the pressure of this Jet Lion and Jade Warrior combo. Death Runners, though, have just eviscerated these Crossbowmen and are coming in for some rear charge support. Ooh, we're getting a juicy Powered Warp Gale, and then a nice little lightning shot there. I actually would have expected a lightning shot on maybe Rage and Lances, but maybe it doesn't do that much damage. All I know is it does very high damage to single models, so maybe you can get like 5 or 6 of them or something. Crowmen still hanging in the air after their net. Now the Lances and the Crowmen are descending upon the blob of infantry here, and now this isolated pocket of Jade Warriors and Jet Lions that routed off a lot of the Skavens are getting surrounded and shot to hell with the Skaven Slingers, but it is not that much damage or AP, so it's going to be taken a little bit. We have the Packmaster and Gorich throwing down with some lances, the Jet Lion and the Iron Dragon himself, who is yet to transform into his dragon form. Death Runners with their Weeping Blades are going to be debuffing the crap out of all the stuff in the vicinity that they're hitting. Jet Lion actually doing not that bad against Packmaster. He's holding his own, but Zhao Ming needs to turn into Dragon because he cannot push through all this infantry just by himself. Lances are taking off. They might want to recalibrate, get a different charge angle. And unfortunately, the Jade Warriors here are getting surrounded and piecemealed out. Even the Jet Lion with all of its armor. And again, it's just funny that it's not terrorizing, but it's probably for the best. Slapping around some Rat Ogres, but these guys are not going to hold out against all that infantry forever. Icket, although took a serious walloping in that blob fight, is now coursing around this rock, ready for another charge, slapping into the... Oh, and this looks like... Wait, no, this is a debuff of some kind. Looks... I don't know what is getting cast here. I don't know. What is getting cast here? You know what's getting cast? No? Okay, I swore I saw a debuff there, and then maybe it just disappeared, or he undid the cast, or whatever, what have you. But, yeah, a lot of stuff coming back for Cathay here, but I think although the bound... Oh, God. Even though there's so little left for Cathay, there's so much balance of power with the Dragon and these Lances, but they're getting surrounded. Gorich is going to absolutely curb stomp these things into the dirt. Packmaster as well help them out. The Honest Crowmen could potentially try to screen them, but they're pretty toast as well. I think this is definitely a game here. I think it is game blouses for the Skaven. If they were wearing blouses, it is their time to shine now. Death Runners, still pretty healthy, super crucial in that fight there. He totally got the jump for Grand Cathay and just routed their archers and got in the backline and started rear charging stuff. And Gorich, let's see what Gorich got. 1800 value, what a Chad. What a guy. And yeah, it looks like the rest of the Cathay army is outro. Zhao Ming not going to be long for this world either because he does not have Van Braces. I did not see if he cast like a Final Trans this game, but a last ditch like overcasted Final Trans right now would be kind of dope. You would be hitting Gorich, a Packmaster, and Icket, but Icket is now moving out of the way. And nope, he's doing a cycle charge right into the rear of the good old Zhao Zhao. And yeah. Is beautiful. What is this? What are you referring to, Sir Hank? Sir Hank of House Cyrus. Yeah, it's pretty much GG. Are you talking about the tournament or? Oh shit. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna exit here. Okay, there we go. 3,000 value on Zhao Ming. He must have gotten some final transes in that blob. Oh, 3,000. God damn. Okay, so 3,000 here. 1142 on the Righteous Lances. Pretty good stuff. Jet Lines actually did some of their job. They held out like a huge pocket of Skaven, like a huge portion of their army was just stuck on these guys. But the other blob fight did not go so well for the Cathayans, unfortunately. 140 kills on the Jade Lancers, but it is Skaven, so you know that doesn't equate to value all the time. These guys just got compromised and shut down, and the Jade Warriors held their own, but they did get surrounded and kind of beat up on all fronts. That was a glorious pitched, just straight up boxing match between Cathay and Skaven. I love to see it. It was pretty glorious, and yeah, GG to both players. Let's look at the value here. 1600 on Naked Claw. Didn't have a Flenging Ruin. If you had Flenging Ruin, I guarantee it'd be way higher. Gorich, nasty value. What a Chad. Beating up just pretty much anything he was thrown into. Very good stuff. And the Packmaster helping as well, getting those juicy heals. Glorious clutch Death Runners. That is probably the most clutch play of the game. One of the most clutch plays of the game was using these guys to sideswipe a lot of those Jade Warriors and the Crossbowmen. And then, you know, the Rat Ogres and Triads and Skaven Slingers did their job to surround some of those guys and get the job done. There we go. GG, lads. Very well played. Yeah, double Jade Lion was not expected, I'll tell you that much. Alright, I'm going to sip some water and stretch a little bit while we potentially wait for the finals to be arranged here. Doodly doodly doo. Where is that Discord? Where is my Discord, baby? Okay. There it is. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna sip some Wawa and stretch, and I will be right back into the action after that. Oh. All right, we're back. Let's see. So it's gonna be Seagauze versus Sipa, and they are in. So I'm gonna get the blocker up. Doodly dude, get our great new Bodhi, the Thickums, as he is called in the ancient texts, and yeah, I'm gonna be seeing a best of three here today in our grand finals. Sipa crawling his way from the top side of the bracket, and Seagauze dominating all the way from the was it the 7th pairing here? Yeah, it's gonna be a glorious battle of epic proportions, and we'll see which general can bring their A game here. But yeah, I don't think we have the factions yet, but man, that last game was hilarious. But that Cathay Warriors of Chaos game was still like, God, that was such a good game. It was such a good game, and it was very close, and it showed like that there is some merit to rushing against Cathay, like with heavier factions, if you can manage to clear out their infantry quick enough. If you have tools for that, if you have the capability to bring units that can actually buzzsaw through Jade Warriors, not the worst. Also, you need to be able to pressure their flanks a lot because their weak points are their peasant spearmen. Um, and you might need to try to crush those as fast as possible as well. You just need to have like ways to keep your infantry like healthy, you know. And I think the brutal part was like it was just one little minor mistake, but it was like if the ranged was able to get away for a little bit, and there wasn't any like lances nearby from the Chaos Knights or anything, and they just were able to shoot and just like basically just kite a lot of the Chaos Warriors out. Because if there's more infantry left at that end game, right, Valkia probably wouldn't have had to engage, or at least could cycle charge a little bit more, and hopefully would have had HP to spare because she wouldn't have had to engage as many times as a consequence. So it's kind of a cascading like thing of effects. That is kind of the interesting thing about this game is that especially, I mean, a lot of different video games and games of other varieties, when it's a decently well set up competitive scene, even like just the most like pitched games can be decided by just the most minor of choices. And what I like, what our good old hosty with the mosty, one of his quotes is that the game's a majority about decision making, like in terms of, and we're talking like not just army building, obviously, but in terms of the game, like you have to decide where you're committing troops, when you're committing troops, how to commit them, what like the pros and cons of like what strength you're gaining by putting them there and not having them elsewhere, and just those decisions can make a lot up of what the outcome of a game's going to be. Even if you have insane micro. Now, if you have good decision making and insane micro, then of course you're going to be very well off, and you can turn around a lot of stuff using just good micro. But macro decision making does have a significant portion of this game. You have to decide where to commit your troops, and your troops just can't instantly like run to the other side if you make a mistake. Not every faction is Slaanesh, and even Slaanesh can't really do that with the majority of their troops. They can only do that with their mobility. The mobility is kind of crappy, so it's a very very interesting game. I love the game, keeps it fresh. Even after all these years of me playing it, and yeah, 23 something factions, man. So many different matchups, so many different things to consider. It's insane. So, yeah, looks like we're doing Dark Elves versus Demons. So this is gonna be an interesting one. I know there's a new meta arising with demons because a lot of people have been taking them into certain like counter pick scenarios and whatever. But I don't exactly know. I know that like their heralds are a bit usable now because they don't just have the shitty like expensive demon princes, which I love them because they're named and they're whatever. They're legendary. But and I just like that you can bring a guy named Vomitus, but but they got significantly boosted by getting all the heralds and the greater demon lords for sure. Hmm. My ear just popped. That was really weird. Okay, we're doing it. All right. Game one of the grand finals. We're doing Dark Elves, helmed by Sipa, and Demons helmed by Sigaz. And we are on whatever map this is. I'm terrible with map names. They all blend into one for me, to be honest with you. But this map is always interesting because of it's just one of those maps that like I'm glad made it into the competitive pool, you know, because it's like variety, but also it's pretty brutal because it's like if you're up against a camping faction, it's just heinous because you got to slog through the green goo here, and unless you're lizardman or vampire coast, you know, you're gonna be getting slowed down by that. Okay, let's start with let's see. Let's start with the demons first. We've covered enough elves. Let's go Herald of Zinch with the lore of metal. Oh god, he's zooming everywhere. Okay. Oh, he's wait, his disc is invisible too. What is happening? Okay. So he has Searing Doom, a Plague Rust, and that looks about it. There's very bare bones there. No, nothing else. Any other heroes? No. But we do have 2 Flamers, which are glorious, big damage but short-ranged and squishy demons that have decent speed. You can kite with them, but you need to be very on point, and you need to try to get their value before they eventually die. Looks like one of the Regiment Renowns, Hounds of the Blood Hunt, the Flesh Hounds of Khorne, which have Gore Feast, which is a nasty healing ability, and they also have Dampen, which removes magical attacks and spell resist, which is glorious. They also have immune to contact effects. Very, very good ROR there. Flesh Hounds of Khorne, just 1 on this flank. Then we have 1, 2, 3 pink boars, one being the Sour Guts, which have Sour Discharge. Oh, they explode on death. Excellent. That's pretty cool. We have the Bringers of Beguilement, of course, and then we have 4 blue ores just for that cheap stuff. Ooh, and then we have the Shrieking Skyrays, but they are getting caught out by some of the Dark Elf shenanigans. Speaking of, Mama Marathi with Soul Stealer, Melkoths, it's a good DPS thing, and Life Leeching, Great Arcane Conduit. So very good stuff. We then have 1, 2 Cold One Knights. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Black Ark Corsairs who are trading with the Blue Horrors and will probably upwardly trade because of their armor and damage. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Dread Spears. And then we have 2, count them 2, Bloodrack Medusas. Again, the Siren of the Red Ruin with the good old whales, the little AoE ability. And a lot of blue fire going everywhere. It looks like the Flamer or something. Ooh, that was a good Searing Doom by the caster, the Herald, obliterating some of these Black Ark Corsairs. Flesh Hounds squaring off against the Cold Knights. Neither has made a charge against the other yet. One of the Dread Spears actually routed off. I think that was due to all the damage from the Flamers. Flamers being kept alive is pretty cool. I'm surprised that these guys are not shooting the Flamers, and that these big warriors are kind of, you know, they have their shield up, and they're not going to be taking a ton of damage from the Sirens or from these introduced. I think they should be going after those Flamers. The Flamers do more damage anyway, so they just melt pretty much all the units in this army. We have the Bringers of Beguilement getting in a blob fight with these Black Arks and these Cold Knights. Then Mama Marathi herself is beguiled by the Bringers of said Beguilement. And she's taking a little bit of damage, but she should be able to escape here relatively easily. She's not completely surrounded. Then the Skyrays are doing some decent damage to his face. Harold cackling and laughing in glee as he just sits up there. Flamers are blocked here, so I'd move them back and try to get them into a better position to fire. Flamers here. Oh, are they going to get some juicy flames into these guys? It's so satisfying. No, you fool. Oh, geez. Oh, okay, that was a pretty good fire, too. Jesus. Yeah, so these Flamers are doing well for themselves. Seagaz is using them excellently, protecting them excellently, and, you know, maybe the Dark Elves don't have the pressure to actually stop them, because they are just roasting, spit roasting all these Dark Elf units, and it's disgusting. But we still have a Mama Marathi with a Soul Stealer to contend with, and 2 healthy Bloodrack Medusas. And I understand that these guys need to start killing the Black Ark Corsairs, but they are heavily armored, 80 armor. Okay. And this Medusa will take a lot more damage from that. Yeah, the Flamers should definitely be focusing on the Black Arks, kill all the armored infantry, blah blah. But yeah, those the little rest of the chromatic abomination maybe should get out of here and start shooting at these blood racks, because late game the blood rack Medusas are going to be a problem. And you see that now this blob fight ended up in Darkness' favor. We have very healthy Dread Spears, and we have Black Arc Corsairs. So now the end game is not looking too hot for these poor Chaos Demons. We have these Flamers who were champions in the mid game, now getting hunted down like the vermin that they are. No, but they are getting hunted down. This is pretty typical for a Flamer unit. They have such high damage potential, but because of their cost, you know, they just need to like exceptionally pay for themselves, like by a decent margin usually, to make up for lack of stuff, especially on the Demon roster, and that's going to be a GG. Yeah. So first game going to Sipa here and the Dark Elves. Yeah, Slanesh has game-wide Strider as well, yeah. They could get through the little ponds here. So let's see. Mumrathi, not too impressive. I'm sure she landed like maybe a Soul Stealer if she had time. 2,100 on this. These Medusas are nasty. I guess they were shooting at like the Sour Guts this entire time. I don't know if that was a crazy effective worth, but maybe if she used the little her AoE special ability that the ROR has, and maybe DPS down these Sour Guts. Some of these Flamers, one of these Flamers did good. The other Flamer kind of just got dunked on. Unfortunately, caught up and couldn't really fire into the blob because of obstruction issues. Yeah, unfortunately. I do like them kind of together, because then if one gets compromised, the other can just turn and shoot, and you try to like skirt away with the other Flamer, right? So maybe they're played tighter. It could have been better. I don't know. They're hard to use. Demons are hard to use. And Harold got pretty good value. Corn Dogs did okay. And, you know, these guys did okay. But, yeah, pretty massive value on some of these Medusas here. And just overall good showing by the Dark Elves there. GG, both players. Let's get the blocker up for game 2. Good old game 2. Will this be evened out by Seagars, the champ? Or will OP Sipa seal the deal with a clean wipe? Let's find out next time on Total War Warhammer 3. I am sipping some water, weed-flavored water. Yeah, I think I'm surprised the Medusa got that much value. I wonder where they got it. You know, I'm gonna save that replay actually, just so I can go back and look at it later. Dark Elf versus ELC finals. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'll go back and see what happened there at some point. Let's go back and look at that real quick. Well, I don't want to miss their thing. I don't want to potentially miss their stuff. I'll just at Sipa and be like, just okay, we're gonna go take a look at the I'm gonna take a look at what these Medusas did, because I didn't really understand where they got their value from, or if they just like, or one of them got an okay amount of value that I could see them accruing, the normal one throughout a game, but the 1,300 I was like, where did you get your value, brother, sister, brother, battle sister? follow this, the adventure of Squiggly Wiggly, the Medusa. Runs back, shoots into there. Oh, it is targeting the flamers. Nice. Okay, and this gets double damage on these flamers. Gross. So then you start targeting the Masters of Beguilement, or Bringers of Beguilement. So she just got picks on just like all sorts of little like tricksy things, and then ran into combat. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Got it. Got him. Excellent. Oops. All right. Oh, we had the block round, didn't we? Well, sorry guys, you didn't get to see all the cool stuff. No, it really wasn't that cool. It was just the red siren smacking stuff. With her little missile. She shot some of the flamers. She shot some of the bringers of beguilement. So like high value things. That's probably where she got her value. And then she ran into combat and started beating the crap out of stuff and caused that whole flank to crash. So well done, Siren. Well done. All right. Oh, we're seeing a change. Seepa's going to another elf action. We're seeing a lot of elf mains come out. All right, where's my greenskins? Where's my chaos storms? I guess we saw two of them today. They're doing pretty good there. Both of them got dunked, I think, actually. But they tried their best, and that's what counts. They won in my heart. Oh. Yeah, we might be able to raise this to off a bit too here. So it doesn't get... Yeah, there we go. Now the microphone should be a little closer to my lips, so we can hear every noise that I make. Alright, Seagulls has left the lobby. Hopefully this is not anything serious here. Yeah, guys, I'm already back in the lobby. So please, by all means, continue your game. Your series. Let's get it on the road, baby. Let's do it. Let's go. We ain't here for nothing, motherfuckers. Come on. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night. Okay, I shouldn't be saying that. You know what's crazy is that people have gotten like what is it, demonetized for like just like singing lyrics too, like of just random songs. Like I think the sensitivity, they've turned the sensitivity down on the algorithm bots or whatever, but man, when that started happening, I was like, dude, what is going on? What's going on here? You just mentioned a song lyric and it's just over for you. That guy's like claiming your whole your whole thing as intellectual property, even though you just referenced their song. It's horrible. Does anybody know where Seagulls went? Where's the boy? He gone? What do you mean he's gone? What do you mean he's gone? What is happening? Did he leave or did he... Help! Help! So Wait, Alfair, are you just saying he's gone? Just commenting he's gone, or are you saying he's gone as in, he like left, like and is just gone? This would be pretty anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie. This would be pretty tragic. I might view a couple replays that we haven't seen. Sipa gone too. Okay, well yeah, I can see that Sipa just left. Thank you. But yeah. Huh. Okay. Refresh. Okay, that is not. So this is just the same one because it says there's two. Okay, they rehosted. Thank God. Cool, cool, no problem. Okay, great. Everything's back on track here. Hopefully we can get the second game rolling, and yeah, that's dope. Okay, good. We haven't been abandoned yet. It hasn't happened. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're getting Hiles versus Kislev, baby. This is an interesting one. Yet again, not one I'm all too familiar with. You know? I'm still getting back into the gist of things myself, and also there's a crap ton of matchups to learn. Like, a lot of matchups to learn. Like, we're talking in the 500s. Like, there's a lot. So... Or, what is it? Yeah, 24 times 24 or something? Right? Is that correct? Yeah, 576 matchups or something, right? Yeah. Insanity. Yeah, so it's like you're not gonna know all the matchups off head, but this is an interesting one, and I'm excited to see how it is played by both players. I've only played this, I think, like once or twice. One of which was against the boy Lenorm, and I tried bringing a little Grom, and it just absolutely shat the bed. But the rest of the army did okay, but the little Grom shat the bed and just didn't do anything and lost me the game. But it was a fun match. It was entertaining. And now we see it in the finals of our grand Friday night fights. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. But yeah, there's a lot of matchups. I think you definitely want to, like, with this game, you want to take the approach of, I want to, like, maybe start by learning. I mean, start, like, at the very beginning, start by learning. But then once you have just a ground foundation of kind of how to play the game and what that faction wants to do, I would recommend learning, like, 3. And then, you know, maybe stick with that for as long as you're comfortable with and you feel like you have comfort with those 3. Then move it up to 5. Then, you know, move it up to 7. I'd do it by 2 every time just to, like, try to keep you spiced up. But, you know, I think it's one of the better ways is just incrementally learning, like, factions and learning their stuff. Because there's just so many now in the game. Anyways, let's start with Kislev, because I think we haven't seen them today. But we do see the Stank, Mother Stankya, of Stankya. And we have Flock of Doom. Her just generic word save and just Flock of Doom. That's it. We don't have the Spirit Bear, which saddens me because that is a hilarious ability. We have 4 Kostlevite dervishes. Good, you know, skirmish cav, light cav, just because they can become unbreakable and become very obnoxious. We have the Wolf Hearts, which is a very good net, a nasty net, in fact, just a nasty net. And but I think it did get nerfed recently. Yeah. I feel like it. Yeah. Okay. 2 Streltsy, which are the armor-piercing guns with axes. Then we have 2 armored Kossars, or 4 armored Kossars, which are really nasty units. These guys are one of the best like units on the roster, in my opinion, just because they can shoot. They have the missile tracking of like gunpowder, and they're really good melee. And then we have another decent unit, which is the heavy war sleds, which have armor-piercing guns attached to them, and the bears. And the bears are pretty damn good at slapping up fools in melee as well. And that is about all for the... Wait. Yeah, that was dervishes. Okay. That's about it for the Kislevs. Now we have Archmage of Life. We got a Armor of the Stars. Oh. Unspottable Stock. Oh, very cool. God. I'll just have some insane items. Book of Hoeth, another insane item. Very good. We have Shen Burning Gaze and Net of Amantog. Ooh, Light. Mage of Light. That's pretty cool. Bears roaming up, and they are engaging, shooting some of the stuff here. Looks like just the Spearman, actually, sadly. Ooh, that's a good Flock of Doom and a good damage by Ostankia here. Shooting into the Spearmen. We have 5 Spearmen. Yep, 5 Spearmen. And we have 2 Lothern Seaguard, 3 Lothern Seaguard, and then 3 regular Archers by Sipa, and 2 War Lions of Trace as a backup to their lines. Then we have just Illyrian Reavers. No, we have 1 Silverhelm, 1 Illyrian Reaver on each flank, and the Heralds of the Wind, which up until a while, like Warhammer 2, these guys were legitimately the fastest unit like in the game, right? They had 105 speed, like 100 speed, unheard of, unprecedented numbers. In before Slaanesh appeared and all these other things appeared, and Malagor appeared with his like goddamn 120 speed flying. Ostankia just got sniped though, so she's getting taking a lot of fire, still taking a lot of fire because think about it, High Elves, really good with bows. Have a lot of range with bows. Been doing it for thousands of years, baby. They have a monopoly on bows. So you got to be really careful when engaging the skirmish with them, because you got to walk up right in their grill and try to get their shit down. These armored Kossars might even want to just save their stuff and just run into melee. They can focus down this weak spearman and maybe try to deal with something, get the dervishes in there or something. But right now we're just seeing just kind of unfortunate trades via just the outranging of these high elf archers. And he is just pressuring a lot of these aspects of this Kislev army. I don't think Mother Ostankia even has Goulias, so she can't heal herself if she wanted to, which is another tragedy of bringing some of the bare bones lords, especially when they have those cool abilities. Spearmen getting absolutely trounced by these heavy war sleds, but these heavy war sleds are probably boning out. They're getting all caught by some of the warriors and sort of things you might want to try to run through your infantry here, or use the dervishes maybe. But the war lions break through and try to get rid of their Streltsy. Oh god, even the wolf hearts are exposed and they're just getting shot to absolute death. Dervishes trying to countercharge some of the silver helms. Not going to do a ton of damage. These guys want to be fighting these archers here and then rear charging if optimal, but the Hiles are just not letting them have any of those engagements, and they just don't have enough pressure in this back line at the moment to force any of these things. The value is significantly skyrocketing for the Hiles here, as they're just getting a ton of great engagements that they want. Still have the heavy war sleds to contend with, and they are routing off this beat-up spearmen and some of these war lines, which means they can now get into the goods and they can shut down these archers. I think they might, Kizzles might still be in the game. You gotta be really careful with Mother Ostankia. Okay, good. I got rid of the blocker. For a second, I had panic attacks. Like, no, get rid of the blocker. But yeah, it's Heralds of the Wind doing stuff. Armored Kossars still trying to shoot in. If these war sleds can chunk down these archers, but they are getting chased by other stuff, there's some scrapback potential, because then you can start shooting into the Lothern Sea Guards. Maybe snipe the Lord. Like, oh god, these Kossars are just so good. They're so juicy. It's just a good quality unit there. Streltsy firing in. So yeah, we're just gonna see if these sleds can really pull through and start disrupting, and it looks like they're gonna pull out. This is where you kind of want some healing or maybe some Goulias, because then they could regroup in the back line here, and Mother Ostankia could get... Oh god, she's still getting sniped by all these archer fire though. She has 40 40 armor, and she has a decently sized model, so it's just like she gotta stay out of that range at this point. You gotta be on the edges here, maybe even duck into the woods and duck out and try to get some damage points from there. Now that a lot of the mobility of the High Elves are gone, you can see some of the raw firepower that Kislev can bring to bear, but I really... but I'm ching bear. But I don't know if it's too late or not for all that. Ostankia again coming into range here and immediately getting targeted by archers. We are seeing a crumbling of the front line of the High Elves though, and the Armored Cossars will beat the crap out of the archers and the Lothric Sea Guard in melee. Wolfhearts should be using their net to net her down. I guess she's getting netted as well. It would have been a net off. And then Ostankia maybe could have gotten some fire or something. Oh, nope, getting a little passive here. Doing some good damage to the Spearmen. Yeah, this is looking... it's getting closer here. This late game is actually starting to favor Kislev, although the war sleds are dying off. That is sad because now the mobility is truly... well, we have some dervishes. We got some dervishes here that can maybe charge in and start taking out some of these skirmish pieces. Will Ostankia live though? Oh god, what was that? That was a Shem's Burning Gaze. Ostankia rocking her passive here, dodging out of the way of missiles. At this point, she's at 4, so I would send some of these Silver Helms after her and just run her down, because I think you can start like getting a big rout here if you kill the Ostankia. I will say, ooh, some of the war sleds getting into the goods. They're getting real grumpy with it. And the Armored Cossars are chasing off. This actually is a very heated battle. Ostankia comes back into the fray, barely alive here. We have Streltsy pushing up, and they will totally out-trade archers. And now we're looking like, how do we clear this infantry for High Elves? I don't know if we can. If Ostankia lives, and no big leadership balance of powers changes here, oh, okay, well, she's dead. Boosh. Oh, she lives with 61 HP! What the fuck? Ostankia's a G, she's still up and running? Oh my god, that is heinous. Okay, well, she's alive still. A lot of the costs, you don't even, she can just dip right now. Because all you have to do is pressure, just keep pressing, keep pushing all the assets of the High Elves back. But there's a war line left. These guys are going to fire at them if they can rout them off. Maybe if a stonky leg, a shoot can, shooty shoot, or a missile can rout these guys off. Oh, there's a, yeah, that, nope, that will probably happen for sure. The flock of doom. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. They're just going to kill these guys. And then they need to charge right into Ostankia. They need to charge right into Ostankia and kill her immediately. No, they don't want to charge into Streltsy. No. Okay, well, this might kill Ostankia. Skadoosh. And she dies. And then she gets picked up by her little flying bat and goes to this back to the spirit realm. Skadoosh. Okay, so we now have to see what gives out first. The High Elf infantry or the Kislev infantry with no lord. This is going to be a tough one. These High Elf guys are still alive. Weird Reavers are still alive. But can you take out this healthy armored Cossar? I guess maybe a Shem's Burning Gaze. She's large, so she can actually escape here if she wishes. She's doing okay damage, but she's probably going to be taking some good damage in return too, due to just the nature of the kind of beefy Streltsy here. Also like dervishes. They're chilling. Man, this is a wild game. So, really, can you take the leadership of these Armored Cossars? They still have Buyer Blood. That is massive. These guys still have Buyer Blood. Massive. This is going to be tough. Is this one still have Buyer Blood? Massive. So, there is just no way, I don't think, that the High Elves at this point can rout off all these Armored Cossars if they're obeying attacking rules correctly. I just don't see it happening. They don't have enough killing power. This Archmage will need to come back, rout these guys. They will stay unrouted. Then Yeah, I think Kislev has eked this out. I think they really have. I don't think. I mean, he can technically still chase this routing Streltsy, maybe gather some wins, get a really nice side shot like Shen's Burning Gaze, and just start procking their stuff immediately. It depends. I wish I had the little thing that you could see the. Oh wow, did he give up? I think that was premature. I mean, I understand why. I understand why. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Wow. GG. So now it's a series. Now we're going to do our grand final game. Very epic. That was a really close game, really well played by both players. Archmage and the archers really sniped the absolute crap out of Mother Osnagia. But the Kislev line was just too powerful and basically pushed their way through. And really, what was the clutch play was the war sleds making it to be able to compromise these archers. If these archers were not compromised and Ostanki had died earlier, I think we might have seen a possible high elf victory here for sure. Also, keeping those war lions alive would have been crucial to trying to kill these guys. Yeah, what a great game, man. Again, just micro mistakes probably caused this one. It was like you just needed to stop those war sleds from getting to your archers. You know, you need to keep some cav to block these guys up, and then you send in your archers to shoot down the sleds or possibly high elf, or even pull back a war lion. Um, something. But what a great fight. I mean, honestly, I don't have too much to say about that one. Yeah. On to the next. On to the next. And we will pop up our last screen blocker of the evening, of the afternoon, whatever time it is. JG's such a good battle, man. Yeah, there's 576 matchups. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. It's just like, there is so many matchups, dude. So many matchups. It's absurd. It's like, you can't, unless you're spending like, even when you're spending thousands of hours, it's hard to just like instant recall like what's optimal for each thing. You know, that's why you have like a set number of factions typically. But I mean, you still want that number to be semi-large for like tournament variety sakes. But you don't need it to be like in the teens. You know, you probably like I'd say like you'd almost want to max out. Like, I'm not saying you can't play all the factions, because you can play all the factions and still be pretty good if you know the foundations of the game. That's the most important. It's just knowing what is currently like strong in the game, what types of units are strong, what types of units do how they do against other types of units, and then just like leadership abilities, buff stacking, uh, spell knowledge, knowledge of your opponent's armies, like there's just a lot of different factors that go into learning the craft of this game, which is I think is super cool because I think you're constantly learning stuff, and that's pretty surprising since I've been following the game and playing the game since like before Warhammer 1 released, when I was playing the Medieval 2 Warhammer mod with Indie Pride from Milk and Cookies. Like I've been playing a long time, man. And the game still surprises me, still has me hype, still has me excited. And you know, there's a lot of CA drama and a lot of stuff that you know is demoralizing, but I think there's still a lot to love about the game. Yeah, I'm excited for this final match. Gonna get some water here, parched my little lips here, and yeah, good to go. Taco. That was for Flying Taco chat, just so you guys know. I guess that was kind of random, but I had to stop my water sipping for that. Alright. I'm back here. We are in the grand poobah of matches. The holy grail of the Friday night fight. The epic moment everyone is waiting for. Who will be the next champion of FNF? Number 1 billion. I don't know what number this was. I was asking Umbrella out of that. I don't know how many Friday night fights there's been. I guess you can go look at, I think they have like a little wall of fame of all the winners, so I guess you could extrapolate the number from there. But I was lazy and I did not want to do that, so I did not. But yeah, I've been hosting for a little bit, and I think these are really fun, and we usually get a decent turnout, and this was a great turnout, and excited to stream more if they will have me. Man, so I'm looking back at the like when you look in the little YouTube studio like streamer thing, right? They have like a playback, like a mini window for the playback, and mine's always like extremely like lagged behind. So I was just seeing Ostankia just get sniped like at the beginning of the game, and I was like, oh, this is bad, and then she gets like even more sniped, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, they might get leadership bombed, and then just like the slow deterioration of the high elf force, I was like, wow, this is a close game. This is a lot closer than I originally anticipated with that heavy damage going on the stank. And just like the early damage from just all the archers. I mean, there's a lot of good damage going on to the Streltsy and other stuff at the very beginning of the game, but I think there was some overextensions where you like threw the lions into dervishes and stuff, and yeah, they might need to get pulled back or repositioned so that they could protect the archers just for a little longer, or just see if they need to break through any other lines with the Kossovers. But again, like in intense games like that, it's just like the most minor of things, and like sometimes it's really hard to like just anticipate those things happening later in the game when you're just trying to accrue value like at the present time, at the now. That's another really tricky, difficult thing that I think even the most experienced players like is choosing like your timing for engagements and when to deploy like the usage of stuff. Because it's hard not to just go for straight value all the time, because that typically is what you want to do, but you also don't want to like potentially use up like a good amount of your value of a unit, but then it gets beat up and it can't use its value later, like when you really, really need it. So it is a tricky situation all around. Ugh. I think we're getting Tomb Kings and Grand Cathay. This is nasty. Nasty business. Disgusting. So I haven't particularly seen this matchup a ton either, I feel like, but I mean, it comes down to what range tools they both bring. It comes down to if they want to do that range fight. I don't know. I know that like if Ushabti get in range of the cannons, they probably trade upwards, but the issue is like how much damage can Cathay cannons do to Ushabti on the approach? Not sure. So if he goes that route, it could be interesting. If we could see just like a full Tomb King melee rush, that would be pretty insane. That would be a wild shout, and I think that would be pretty. I think Tomb Kings have a lot, like another faction that's very malleable. They can do a lot of different stuff, and they can do a lot of different stuff pretty decently well. They can go full rush skis, or they can go pretty heavy kite. They can do an amalgamation of the two, or they can just camp. A lot of options, and their units are relatively unbreakable. That's pretty gross. Pretty gross. Oh, yeah. There's another map with cool background stuff going on. The Chaos Shrines and Towers. And the magma. The liquid hot magma. And then just random floating pillars. All very cool. Very cool stuff. Okay. So let's go over the Tomb King's army, since Tomb Kings haven't been seen today, I don't believe. No, not on stream. So we got the Kotep, not on his DJ booth, but he has the Darude Sandstorm. He has Dechaf's Incantation of Curse Blades. He has the Physical Resist spell, and Petra's Incantation of Righteous Writing, which is good damage. Then he has the Restless Dead passive, of course, Arcane Conduit, the Lich Staff, which is his nasty ability, which can just reduce cooldowns of everything. Really gross. And then that's about it for him. He is on a horse. Then we have 3 Bow Shabti, one being the Chosen of the Gods, which has their exploding thing, and yeah, they're a very good unit. We have 2 Nehekara horsemen and 2 skeleton horsemen, and then just a line of skeleton warriors and skeleton spearmen, and 2 Nehekara warriors on the flanks. These guys look like these days. Very cool. Standing eerily still, shaking slightly. Okay, and then we have a bunch of carrion. We have 1, 2. Oh, he has the crows though. I don't know if I deploy this far. Well, no. So we have the 3 carrion. As for the Cathayans, we again are seeing a Zhao Ming. I understand Zhao Ming as the healer. I get it. But, you know, I do like bringing Yuan Bo. That's a controversial take, you know. I think some people don't like Yuan Bo, but I very much like Yuan Bo. I think he's nasty if any faction wants to try to help disrupt Cathay's line with their lord. Yuan Bo is a disgusting pick, because essentially he will just be like, oh, you want to come near my army while I'm here? Okay. And he just comes in and he's like really good melee stats, armor piercing in his human form, just starts chopping you up, will net you, will have his other stuff shoot you, and then if you're like low enough, he can just execute the hell out of you via either his ability or just a regular attack, which is nasty. Anyways, Zhao Ming with just Dragon's Breath and his 2 passives here, Warring Iron, blah, blah. We have a front line of Jade Warriors and Jade Warriors with halberds. Actually a full line, nope, just 3 peasant spearmen in the back, 1 of the Jade Warriors making up that back. We have 2 peasant horsemen, then we have 2 gross onyx crowmen, we have 2 grand cannons, and we have a fire rain rocket, and then our Iron Herald Gunner. And those cannons are going to be shooting up and away at these good old Ushabti. Not dealing crazy amount of damage, so actually these trades might go pretty well if they continue to deal damage like that. That was, I think, even 2 shots or 2 volleys of these cannons. And so if they continue to kind of whiff or just not deal that much damage, these Ushabti should be able to outtrade all of their artillery here. It is very surprising that they don't do that much damage to Ushabti. I feel like they kind of should, but they do not. So the Ushabti are going to get their licks in, and they're going to probably start messing up. These Grand Cannons are real good. Nope, he's firing at the Fire Rain rocket, which I guess deals more damage to his infantry here, but I really would probably rather focus something, like I'll have all 3 focus on 1 so he can just eliminate it, and eliminate its combat effectiveness as soon as possible. We just see a random peasant horseman coming in and charge directly into skeleton horsemen. It's just so isolated. But the Zhao Ming drives, I don't know where my head was. I was just focusing on this Zhao Ming. But Zhao Ming jumps in here, waddles away. It looks like he can wiggle away here. But these peasant horsemen are donezo, man. That is a huge just kind of loss there. I mean, it's not like the biggest deal because they're cheap. But it's just another thing that can block up the advance of the two King's infantry. And when they're gone, they have one less little stopping power. The carrion dying, but trying to get some good damage, but one of the cannons is already going to Ushapti fire, and that carrion just died horribly without doing any damage to that. So that was a good dragon breath under the skeleton warriors. Ooh, but dude, I didn't even see that on the Eyes of the Desert. Goddamn. So Eyes of the Desert are going to come in and pressure the hell out of Zhao Ming anytime he gets close to this front line or anywhere near it. You could go, yeah, try to pressure these Chosen Gods, but these guys are not really caught up by anything, so they can just go and try to shoot Zhao yet again. Front line's going to have trouble getting into this blob here, but the issue is that they can't really blob anymore once all of their once all of their artillery is dead. Yep. And as long as blah blah blah. Eyes of the Desert coming in, and they're just gonna rain hell down upon Zhao Ming if they can get an actual shot, because it actually looks like they're being obscured by Ushapti. Oh, looks like they can get shots now, and that's gonna be. Oh wow, he dodged a lot of those missiles. That is very, very fortunate for the Zhao Ming with his wild animations. If he had like a final trans here, I think he could do a lot of damage to this stuff here and jabate them, right? Grand Cannon's still being somewhat online. Orange Croman kind of messing up some of the Ushapti's firing, but also just kind of dying to some horse spearmen, skeleton horsemen. Horse spearmen skeletons. And yeah, then they're going to rout. And I think it's just the fact that, like, maybe the front line, man, I don't know how they're actually going to kill the front line. I guess you just have to keep these Ushapti healthy, pray that these Grand Cannons die quickly, and then just start shooting the crap out of these Jade Warriors. Because honestly, well, if they rout or if they kill Zhao Ming, which he does have his van braces, so it's going to be a little rough. If they kill Zhao Ming, I feel like they could get a decent rout going, especially if they keep all these Ushapti around. These two, yeah, need to kill this Grand Cannon, then they need to kill the Iron Hails, and then they just need to shoot into the backs of all these Jade Warriors who are taking very, very little to no damage from the skeletons. The Mehekar Warriors should be shooting apart. Oh, that was a good charge right down the side, getting good damage. Shooting apart these spearmen, but not quick enough. Like, that's what I'm saying with Cathay. You need really heavy infantry or really good anti-infantry to buzzsaw through their stuff, even their spearmen, because they all get buffed from which is just absolutely bonkers. Not like absolutely bonkers, but it really makes them a bit better than they are when leadership gets higher, I think. Leadership, yep. +8 is pretty good. Zhao Ming trying to stop from these Eyes of the Desert, but the Eyes of the Desert are actually beating the crap out of him. They're going to run away. And might take some damage from the charge here. But he's probably going to be caught up by a few of these. Horsemen, ooh, but the other Croman come do that. That's a nice little breath. I don't know why you're focusing on these guys. These infantry are not the problem. You need to kill the horsemen. You need to kill, as it does. I would have believed on the horsemen for sure. And I would try to be getting rid of these Ushapti, because as long as these Ushapti live, I think that's the only angle where Team Kings can really win this game. Nice route on the Jade Warriors, though. Huge, massive. They should run over and start doing it to these guys. These guys can spear and try to wipe out the rest of these warriors who are trying to run through their lines, by the way. Horrible idea. If you're trying to run away from the enemy, don't run through their formation, I would recommend. And they're only going to take a lot of unnecessary damage there. We got the Zhao Ming getting surrounded. He got his van braces just used up. But it's still a... Is he still doing it? Yes, he is. I think the Ushapti can piece out the rest of his army. It just needs to deal. They just need to deal with Zhao Ming. My brain is just not working well. I should have ate or something before the stream. I'm just deteriorating here. But Zhao Ming is getting circled deep by the goddamn Mehakar horsemen. The sepulchral stalkers. Eyes of the Desert. And Grand Hierophant. The DJ himself. Just jumping the hell out of Zhao Ming. If he gets some wild animations, he can escape here, and I would recommend trying to escape. And I would recommend trying to get some of these. Oh, these guys. Well, go for these guys. With the 9 ammo left. That's probably the best you can do. And then just try to kill all their infantry, but their infantry is actually not doing that bad. These Nehakar warriors are holding their own against these Jade warriors. There's a good breath, decent breath. Jade warriors get into the mix. Zhao looks like he's doing okay, but I would still get away from this like lava stuff because the sepulchral stalkers are right here. They're just gonna throw just hell into Zhao Ming. And it's gonna be very unfortunate if he falls me off. Yeah. Oh. Yep. And that's the game. GG. Wow. Wow. What a game. What a game. Man. Oh, I don't think I saved that High Elf Kislev one. Ah, that was a good one too. Crap. Well. Anyways, GG, Sippa won the tournament. Whoa! Good job, Sippa. Congratulations. Let's take a look at the value, and then we'll probably wrap it up from there. 800 on the Kotep, 1,000 on the Sepulchral Stalkers, Eyes of the Desert, very nice. Chosen of the Gods got a beautiful 1964. Great year. No, I don't 1,081 on one of these shop tea, the other one got a little cucked. We got okay damage on the Hekar horse, and they did what they needed to, though, and they just stopped Zhao Ming and the peasantry from doing anything. It's Trixie. And the Hekar horsemen, skeleton horsemen, 3 carrion, all did okay and all did their job. Zhao Ming got an okay amount of value, but he did jump out, and I think the issue is once he realized the cannons weren't going to deal with the Ushabti, I think you had to try to go on the offensive, and you had to really push and be careful about it, but you had to push like probably all your horsemen and all your crowmen and Zhao to try to just kill off like as much Ushabti as you could, and then just hope the cannons survive and just counterfire and stuff. But I mean, I guess then they had the carrion, so it's a rough situation. It was a pretty good counter build into Cathay there, very nice. We got the Jade Warriors. Yeah, nothing really got exceptional value over here. Iron Hails died before they could do anything cool, so yeah. GG, lads. What a game. He does reign supreme. He does indeed reign supreme. That is true. So, GG, lads. Thanks for joining. I'll ask Sipa or Sea Guys if they have that High Elf Kislev game. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks for all the players who played in the tournament. Thank you, Umbrella, for hosting. Hopefully I will be casting and doing a lot more stuff. That's my New Year's resolution, is I'm actually going to be doing stuff, baby, on the channel. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you on the next one. And peace out.